intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to The Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this is Dollar Beat.
BoxingVoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar Nova. I feel like he was straight up and down, no really no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Alexander Lionez in New Jersey, Mario Munguia in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we waking up early, 9 a.m. Eastern, to discuss the WBO champion Terence Bud Crawford and the WBC 126-pound champion Gary Russell Jr. Russell has come out last night while we were all asleep, took to his social media to say that he has instructed Al Haymon to contact Bob Arum, and that Al Haymon has already contacted Bob Arum and is waiting on a response. Now, seems to me that the bud tenders would not want us to report on this. They seem to prefer the news of Brook versus Crawford. But I feel we need to let our audience know that Russell is serious about facing Terence Crawford, and the little beef that they have, he isn't letting it go. He's basically drawn a line in the sand. He's no longer friends with Mark Taffet, I think it is, or Mark somebody, and Dynamite. Mark Davis. He's no longer friends with Mark Davis. He's no longer friends with Dynamite Carl Dargan, Terence Crawford, Bernard Hackett. Whoever disagrees with him punching Crawford in the mouth, he's no longer friends. And he says, listen, when you see me, don't speak to me. Say hello to my father. Say hello to my brother. But don't speak to me, because I don't talk to fake dudes. I might punch you in the face for lying. But look, I did a good enough job bringing everything up, but let me just give you the very long audio of Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on this jump. I seen Bernard Hackett. He went on and said something like, I'm a good fighter, I'm a great fighter, X, Y, and Z, and he wanted to give me advice to what to do. I don't got no respect for you no more, Bernard. Just like Terence Crawford, just like Dynamite, just like Mark Davis. When you see me, don't say shit to me, Slim. And I mean it. You can talk to my father, you can do all that shit. Don't say nothing to me. Because you know the skill set and what I possess. How could you possibly tell me that, and you would tell me to move up, and you would tell me to fight somebody, X, Y, and Z. But your son, Jaleel, was just in the gym sparring my little brother not too long ago, and he got knocked the fuck out. You ain't going on here telling the fans that your son got knocked the fuck out by my little brother. And make motherfuckers question whether he need to go pro or not. You know what I'm saying? And then you still tried to get your son after he was completely knocked the fuck out. Clearly don't got no functions, not understanding his whereabouts or none of that. But you still wanted to make your son go out here and fight. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. You still wanted your son to go out here and fight. You know, or to finish the spawn after he was completely, you know what I'm saying, he was basically knocked the fuck unconscious by Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why he didn't completely get his little ass cremated was because we do know Jaleel and we do, you know what I'm saying, fuck with Shawty genuinely. So we ain't gonna let the motherfucker spawn continue. So I don't got no respect for somebody saying that. You can't give me no motherfucking advice. How you gonna tell me I can't move up and fight Terence Crawford? You're right. You are absolutely motherfucking correct. You have known me for a while, for a long time. I remember when you came home from jail, because the people don't know, you know what I'm saying, everybody got a history. When you came home and you was training, you was fighting at like maybe 165 at the time. I was only 14, 15 years old, and I was fucking you up. So
I just want to pause it right there because I gotta say, man, this dude just keeps coming out, dropping information. You know, we could pick sides here for our fans, or the fighter in which we are fans of, and you know, say, oh, this guy's 126 pounder, oh, this guy's clout chasing, this guy's capping. You know, Gary wants attention, whatever. You know, ridiculous thing it is that you come up with to try and, you know, brush this off. But I think that any real person should be questioning or not the validity of everything that Gary's been saying over the last 30 days. I mean, he just doesn't strike me as someone that's lying when you consistently come out dropping information about everyone you're talking about, and then sooner or later, the people react to it and say, oh, yeah, well, that happened, but it happened this way. I don't know. You know, I think we've used that term before, call his bluff. You know, it doesn't seem like bud tenders want Gary's bluff to be called, and I understand. I understand, guys. I get it. You know, Gary's small. He really is small when you compare him to welterweights. So, you know, maybe these guys are looking at it like, what's the sense? What am I gaining? Or, excuse me, what is Crawford gaining? But when you compare it to Gamboa and, you know, like Kavalaskis and stuff like that, Crawford gains the name recognition. You know, it would be more about Gary being the Mikey Garcia in this particular fight. But
I agree.
But Gary is more than Mikey in the sense that he's going to sell it. Look how he's talking. Imagine a face-to-face. Imagine a press conference. Regardless of what Gary does in that ring on that night, can we not agree that the buildup will be invaluable to boxing?
I will duly agree with you on that, champ. Gary's just been coming on the last few weeks, you know, and just, you know, spitting his piece, saying how he feels, and he's been really calling these guys out. In the beginning, when he first started this stuff, I was thinking maybe he's just trying to get back out there. Maybe he's just trying to fish, see what he can catch. But, you know, he's just been mentioning Bud more and more. And it's a fight that obviously, like you said, is going to be on Gary. Like, I'm not going to get excited for Crawford as much. I'm still going to be excited, but it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, this is the guy that I really wanted Crawford to fight. But you make a good point. On the build-up, people can fall in love with this fight. You know what I'm saying? The drama behind it. People can fall in love with this fight and get behind it. Now, regardless, like you said, of what he's going to do in the ring, we still can guarantee that Gary's going to go in there and put on a performance. Now, how long he going to be in there with a guy like T-Bud who's bigger, stronger, hits harder, I don't know. But I can get excited about something like this. And he keeps dropping little pieces of information, man. Like, he keeps giving us insights on the past. You know what I'm saying? On what really, like, the makeup is of I think, the overall picture of this, of what he's doing.
Yeah, listen, I don't think that I don't think that we even need to question at this point the true or false nature of his statements. The relevancy there isn't. It doesn't matter. You can believe him or you can not believe him. It doesn't change the facts that matter. And the facts that matter are he's fishing for a fight. He's trying to get whatever he can. At this point, even though initially I really did like the idea, I think he's barking up the wrong tree. I think that Bud could never accept this type of fight. And if I could use, boxing bars Border Wars as a reference point, it's like, Ness not wanting to fight Rob because Rob is not a heavyweight and him saying, go get your heavyweight fight and get ranked. I get that. I understand that. Not because Robert, let me just finish. Give me 30 more seconds. Not because Robert's not good, because he is. Not because I think Ness is scared, because he isn't. It just, for the optics of it all, for the promotion to make work, it needs to happen that way. And the same thing goes with Gary Russell. We're going to have him fly up 147. Basically, look, this last thing I'm going to say about this, and then you can tell me whatever you want to say. The people that were there saying that they wouldn't hold it against Ness and they wouldn't, they would give him a pass and they wouldn't call him a cherry picker are the same types of people that would say that about Bud and then in reality come back the next day, probably at least a week later, and start trashing. Oh, you beat a little guy. Oh, you beat this guy. It was the same thing that happened with Marquez and Mayweather. So many people were like, oh, he's fighting the best. He's fighting the best. And obviously that was a little different because Mayweather did what he did in terms of weight. But I just think that it's a move that Bud can't afford to make.
First of all, this is just like Mayweather Marquez. You're right. That's a good example. And Mayweather got plenty of credit and Marquez received plenty of credit. This is nothing like Rob and fighting a heavyweight because Rob doesn't have a belt. Rob didn't accomplish what Gary Russell did. Rob, okay, even if Gary Russell wouldn't be a current WBC champion, Rob didn't fight a Lomachenko. Rob didn't fight a Johnny Gonzalez. That's not what Rob did. So this is totally different, and I'm actually upset, and I'm about to pull the race card. It's like, why is Gary shunned away when he wants to be great, but if it's Mikey, it's fucking okay? Like, I'm not understanding what's the difference. Wait a minute, let's really
the money.
No, let's really fact check
crowd.
it. Let's really fact check it. Earl was a natural welterweight, fought at 152 in the Olympics. Okay? So there should have been more fear for Mikey, who was a natural 126-pounder moving up to fight Earl. Crawford at least started his career at 35, for God's sakes. So it's like, no, Gary can't do what Mikey could do. There's no way we could believe that Gary could have the balls of Mikey. So what's going on? Why is it, Gary too small for him, but for Mikey it was like, oh, he sees something. It's a 3.5 to 1. Look at all the money coming in on Mikey. Like, bro, what the hell is going on? Like, really, what's going on? Why can't Gary dare to be great? Like, I don't get, what is the difference? What is the difference? Somebody tell me. Okay, I can make my own argument. Okay, Mikey's a multiple division champ. Mikey at least proved that he could fight as high as 140. Good argument. Give me something else. Is that it? The small man's argument? Because Regendow didn't move up and show us nothing. He jumped up and we were okay. Kelbrook didn't move up and show us nothing. He jumped up and we were okay. And then bum-ass Khan, who we knew couldn't win, we were okay. So let's just stop it, man. What is the hate on Gary for? I don't get it.
I'm waiting for Mario to jump in.
My last question is this, Mario. Has Gary proved that he's a bum? Has somebody whitewashed him?
Okay, I mean that's a setup question, because to say that, well, we knew Amir Khan couldn't win, and then to ask, is Gary Russell a bum? Those are two conflicting questions. First of all, you're right. It was the odds were very long against Amir Khan, but Amir Khan is great, and this is the same exact thing with Gary. The odds are long, okay, but Gary is great. So it's the exact same situation. You're not going to say that Gary Russell isn't any more able to make that leap and win with his skill set than Amir Khan is. Amir Khan has probably if this was a boxing game, I'm telling y'all that anyone with any boxing knowledge making Amir Khan ratings would have it 10 all across the board until they got to defense. Okay? Hand speed, foot movement. I'm not even going to go down that road. Look, this is what I wrote. This is not about Gary Russell. You want to talk about the race card, you want to talk about whatever you want. That's fine. Those are your opinions. But the truth is, this is about Bud. This is about the lack of respect that Bud would get. Okay. And the thing is we don't want to waste a fight that's seemingly coming from across the street on Gary Russell. That's where the knock is. The knock is if you're going to set up any fight from across the street, do it with Keith Thurman. Do it with Sean Porter. Do it with Earl Spence. Do it with the guys that actually are in the weight class. But you're going to waste the, precious moments that we have in terms of promotional talk with, back and forths. This is not the fight that we'd want it to happen on. If it was a multi-fight deal with Terence, something like that, we could maybe rock with it. Two more things. Gary Russell made a statement years ago that he would never fight much higher than featherweight. I don't see what has changed. The only thing that has changed is the fact that nobody wants to fight him, and that's not his fault. It's not his fault.
How about that he's older, Mario? How about that he's growing and he can't make 126? That's not logical. A guy who started his career at 126 can't say a statement 10 years ago and change his mind.
He can't make 126, but he can only make 147. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But listen.
No, that don't paint that picture.
He got so mad about it.
He stopped. Listen, he stopped.
Good.
He stopped. He didn't even stop. He started with Tevin. Okay, Gary. See, this is what I'm saying. Why are we not backing Gary, who wants smoke with everybody? Mikey Garcia seen a financial opportunity. Kell Brooks seen a financial opportunity. Amir Khan seen a financial opportunity. Gary Russell is a proven, you said something to me? I'm coming to check you type of dude. He has never let anyone talk about him. Tevin said a word. He said, I'll fight Slim. Tevin lost his belt. He already beat JoJo, who got the belt, not a peep out of him. Gervonta Davis has been disrespected by Gary Russell in his own territory. Gary has been at his fights, interviewed in his audience, telling them he don't want none of him, calling them Slim, Shorty, they know what's up, shut me up, okay? And it don't stop with Gary. It don't stop with Gervonta. He want Leo, he want Abner, he want Frampton. And it don't stop there. He said fucking Shakur. And it ain't done yet. Because after that is when he said, give me Devin Haney at 140. Give me Mikey Garcia at 140. Wait, Crawford, you talking smack too? Well, let's get it on, Slim. So don't paint it out as I want a payday. No, you talking about me. I'm competitive. Let's get it done. Simple. And again, back to your bad metaphor. When a person picks down, you want that person to at least be a champion, right? So if you go on to Robert, I'm looking at Marvin, cruiserweight. Cruiserweights naturally move up to heavyweight. Marvin is at least a 2-belt champion. Third thing, you said, we should be campaigning for Keith. Well, Bob Arum and Bruce Trampler, promoter, matchmaker, no. Let him get a win, okay? They don't want anybody coming off a loss regardless of natural welterweight. Gary's at least coming off a win. Gary's at least a champion. They don't want Keith Thurman off a loss. They didn't want Ugas. Everybody that we tried to give to Bob, they didn't want, and they're taken. Formella, everybody, Porter, gone. So for us to still be saying, why he don't fight Thurman when we know Bruce Trampler said we want him to do something first. So I'm just saying, let's not talk fantasy. Let's be realistic. And realistic is, Gary said Al contacted Arum and they are waiting. Now, if Arum chooses to say that, Gary couldn't even beat Lomachenko, cool. That's on Bob and Crawford, they chose to handle this offer at a fight in that manner. But let's not forget, no offer was sent to Crawford. From Crawford to Thurman, Porter, Ugas. Who was the other guy that we wanted? Jamel Charlo. Remember that Bob was over the moon. Bob was over the moon with that fight. Teixeira. So listen, I don't know how many passes we're going to give or how many times we're going to blame the other person. Like, why is Gary the liar? But
nobody's calling Gary a liar.
No, you're saying that he's only looking for a payday.
I didn't say he was only looking for a payday. I said that the difference between then and now is that he has been unable to get a fight the magnitude in which he deserves. Nobody's saying that Gary's not deserving of a big fight. I am a fan of Gary. You must not be, because you're the one that wants to put him in the lion's den with perhaps the pound for pound #1 best fighter. You know what that means, Ness? That means that regardless of weight, regardless of size, regardless of reach, this fighter is the best, bar none. So then you want to put him in a fight with that guy where he has a disadvantage in height, in weight,
it's not
in reach? That's crazy.
It's not up to us.
Cham, I raised my hand. And I know I've been talking, but Mario, so are you telling me all the Kell Brook fans hated him when he went against the most feared 160-pounder in the last 10 years? When he went against the dude making the most title defenses by knockout, were those fans whatever you called me? No. What about the Khan fans? No. What about the Mikey? No. Stop using those boring, corny arguments because they didn't work for those fights. That's what I'm saying. We got to find a better reason than...
It did work.
How?
You play the Monday morning quarterback. In hindsight,
fans,
those were the arguments that people should have listened to.
Monday morning, the fight's on Saturday. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
By the way.
Those fans, so did I, but not the fans of Kell Brook, not the fans of Mikey. So you're saying nobody likes Gary Russell because Khan had a fandom saying, no, he can do it. He's the fastest boxer in the world. And Kell Brook had a fandom saying, no, Gennadi's never been in nowhere that's a skill set of Kell Brook. He's the best welterweight right now. And nobody said that. Nobody said that about Mikey when he was saying, I see something. Oh, Mikey said he sees something, y'all. Mikey said he sees something. And guess who else they didn't say something about? Pacquiao when he fought De La Hoya. So let's just stop, man. Let's just stop. Like, we could all go down the argument that Ness has been given traditionally, consistently, since Little Man has been fighting Big Man. He'll never win. But my argument fell on deaf ears for nearly 10 years. Now we got a little man who I actually want to see, and the world is against me. Now y'all learned your lesson? No. It's unfair.
That's what it is.
No.
They did learn their
unfair.
lesson. And
no.
why can't we learn from the things that went wrong? I don't want to see the Amir Khans jump up and wait anymore. I don't want to see the Kell Brooks jump up. I don't want to see the Mikey Garcia, because in every single one of those instances, we were treated to exactly what the pundits believed would happen. Okay? It doesn't take a boxing expert nor a rocket scientist to figure out what's going to happen in those fights. And I don't want that for Gary. And I don't want him to sit idle either. But this is the best case scenario for Gary Russell. Tell me if I'm wrong. Best case scenario, he goes in there, he wins 3 rounds, 4 tops probably. Best case scenario, he survives a 12-round fight, right? Comes out and gets the benefit of the doubt from the people that said, well, he was in tough and he was in against a bigger guy. That's great. Do that stuff in sparring. Don't make me shell out $80 for a fight that already has a predetermined outcome, because that's what it is, a predetermined outcome. I see it. Go ahead.
Stupendous.
You don't got nothing to do me, right? Because I don't want to forget this. So,
Nah, go ahead. I'm holding on to mine. It just,
Shinobi, and that would just be.
Yeah, I'm just getting. But
epic.
I like where you. Guys
this is what I was gonna say. This is gonna be so beautiful right here.
Shinobi.
Look,
Message. No,
in all the fights that we're talking about, little man versus big man, right? In all those fights. Now, thinking of all those in your mind, Brandon, all you bud tenders, Mario, Doomy, put these fights in your mind. The Kelbrook versus Gennady, Khan versus Canelo, Mikey versus Earl. Who is it? Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler?
Nah, they were around the same time.
They were, it was like a come up, but it wasn't like
Didn't
this
Sugar
at
Ray,
all.
I don't know history, but I heard he put quarters in his pocket.
I heard about that.
For a fight. But okay, whatever.
that's like
whatever.
Go
All I'm
ahead.
saying is think of the little man facing the big man. Every little man facing the big man that you can remember. Watch this beautiful one. Now, out of all those big men, Crawford included, who has the most vulnerable chin on that list? That's why this fight is more realistic. Don't make a face. Think about it and be honest. Think about it and be honest.
Canelo.
Yeah.
Canelo
Who's shown that they gotten hurt in fights over and over? Over and over. Was it Canelo that got shown that he got hurt in fights? Or was that one time 20 years ago versus Jose Miguel Cotto? Was it Gennady that shown he got hurt in fights? Or did he have a fucking Terminator chin throughout his career? Was it, I don't know, who else jumped up? Earl?
I might give you credit because
Was it Earl that showed? No, let me finish so I could teach people. Was it Earl that showed that he had a vulnerable chin, or did he only get hit one time and show vulnerability in that fight versus Lardy? Was it De La Hoya versus Pacquiao showing he had a vulnerable chin? Who the fuck else has shown they got a vulnerable chin? Who else has been wobbled? Who else has been stunned? Who else has went down in their last fight?
I mean, you could get wobbled though, but I gotta look at it like, has he been down?
Bruh, his last fight, every fighter that we interview says he was put down.
Yeah, you make a fact with that one. All right, but that wasn't counted as one, so in the history books he was never knocked down.
Listen, it don't matter. This is the point. No other fight did the A side show this sort of vulnerability to the chin. Gennady was perceived as a dude that could walk through punches. Canelo,
I mean, do you perceive Gary as a lower weight hard hitter?
No, I don't.
That's exactly where I was taking this.
And look, and I don't think Paulie's. I mean, I'm reading somebody. I don't think Gary's a knockout puncher. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying Earl never showed vulnerability. None of those guys that were in those fights where they had to move up, did their A side show vulnerability? Never. I mean,
Listen,
go ahead, make the point. Make the point. Don't make faces.
I think that ultimately, when you're talking about such a discrepancy in weight, it's not just good enough for the guy not to have a chin, which I wouldn't even say that about Crawford. But let's, for argument's sake, say that you're right. For argument's sake, it with jumping up so much weight in without any sort of fights in between to get acclimated or whatever, you are putting yourself in a situation where it's not good enough to just not have a chin. The guy's got to be able to pack a punch. We all know that Gary's had issues with the hands. If this comes down to a purely skill set fight, I agree, Ness. The pound for pound version of this fight is one for the ages. The type of ability that Gary Russell and Terence Crawford have is rarely seen in the boxing ring together at one time throughout the entire history of boxing. It's rarely been seen. That much knowledge, that much ring IQ, that much prowess, that much physical and mental ability, right? But the problem is it's not a pound for pound. It's not a theoretical matchup. These guys actually weigh what they weigh. These guys actually are the size that they are. So then when you take that into, when you put that into play and you keep that in context, the fight just loses any sort of muster that you would imagine it having. And this isn't about not giving Gary a chance. This is about not sending Gary to the wolves. This is about not letting Gary put himself in a situation where he's so far down. I mean, you're essentially playing pickup basketball and spotting the other player 10 on your way to 20. That's what you're doing. I don't understand it. I thought you were a fan of this man. Like, what are you doing trying to put him into a lion's den with, again, Let me say it again. The pound for pound best in the world. Go ahead.
Shinobi.
I was just gonna say.
You agree with me? Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I'll
take the win.
Don't be a co-host. Be a boxing fan. What fight do you prefer? No, honestly, what fight do you prefer? If Bob came out and announced it today after the show, Crawford Kell Brook.
I already knew it.
Crawford Kell Brook, which is Kell Brook moving down after 3 years, right? Or Gary Russell.
Okay,
Crawford.
but see, that's the point. Okay, look, that's a cheap ass W you're trying to take right there.
I just
Bro.
want you not
Listen
to be
me.
a co-host.
You know what you
answer.
did? You know what you did?
I want you not to be a co-host.
You know what you just did?
Answer and let Doobie answer.
Listen, we're heading in the championship rounds, right? I'm up 8-2, and you just low blowed me to take out my knees to try, because you know what I'm gonna say. Of course, you can't handicap me into a situation where it's like, oh, what would you rather have? Dog shit or not dog shit. Like, of course. Okay. No comment. Listen, I agree. Gary Russell's a sexy fight. That has all kinds of, it just has such a build that you can imagine versus the Kell Brook. I can't imagine having, that much of a build, especially with the fans that already shitted on it. But that's a cheap W. You want to take it? Go ahead.
Listen to you guys right now. Both of you coming up with great points, right? Because as a fan, like Ness just switched it up. As a fan, yeah, I want to see a guy do great things. Yeah, I want to see, the little guy beat the big guy, the underdog, the story. But then again, Ness also mentioned something, and I don't know if it was you or Mario or Ness, but like, we learned our lesson, didn't we? Like, Mikey Garcia versus Earl, we saw what happened. I don't know what he saw, but he never saw nothing. He got washed. And it's like, at least, Mikey had come up divisions and he had, kind of acclimated himself as he gone up. I mean, we're asking Gary, 126 pounders, like, listen, champ, I'm not saying you can't fight. I'm not saying you can't go chase a bag, champ. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been out the ring that long. But it's like, you gotta, how am I supposed to believe as a fan that this fight's really gonna be competitive? Like, I see you trying to persuade me because you're bringing up, past situations. You're giving me a narrative, and I'm getting interested. You feel me? And that's what's getting me interested, because I'm starting to not see Gary in a different light, but I'm starting to see him like as a guy that really means what he says. Because in the beginning, I'm like, yo, my man just needs that check. He's just, and I'm not saying he's just tossing out names because he needs a check. He's tossing out names because he's willing to fight anybody for a bag. And he knows which fighters represent the bigger bag. Terence Crawford is a big bag, and I can't hate on him for that, but I have to stick with what Mario's saying, man. It's a 126-pound man who never fought outside his weight division, who has fought, very minimal. And I don't know if that's just business in the way or if that's just his decision. And it's a pretty tough pill to swallow when you tell me like, yeah, this is going to be the fight. I got to take into account so many things. And as a coach too, being able to understand what weight divisions are and why they're there. I don't know where I kind of like make that turn. You feel me, Wario?
Yeah, I hear you.
When do I make that turn? Like, you know what? None of that matters.
When is it okay? Like, when can it be overcome?
Yeah, this is a special situation. Like, So, and maybe some do see that. Ness brought up a point about a shaky chin. I mean, I can't say that it happened a long time ago. It happened with Velasquez, and it was recent. So I just don't know what to say. But then again, we go back into the argument: can he hit like Velasquez? Mm-hmm. And then there's a whole bunch of other questions. So it's a mere decision that, do we want to go back down the Mikey Garcia route? Do we want to see that happen all over again? Does it make the same numbers? You know what I'm saying? Do they do those big numbers? Is it worth it?
I don't even really care about that.
I think that Mikey Garcia more so was accepted to that fight also because of the money.
Of course.
The Mexican crowd that he brings and the viewership, that was a huge, I think, factor in making that fight happen. So we have to find huge factors and what's going to make this fight
I mean,
really
the biggest
get everybody
factor,
going.
the biggest factor is Crawford doesn't have an opponent unless you consider a dude past his prime in the welterweight division being a viable option. It's just that simple.
Okay,
Every other welterweight is done. They all have a fight, and the ones that are left. You heard Bomac come on the show. You guys weren't on the show Friday. Bomac was also on, and he said that Arum is working hard in Qatar.
I heard him. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Like, yo, I'm gonna sell you diamonds and gold. So that by the time I slide this shit pie in your face, you don't know what you're getting.
Listen. Okay, so I kept it all the way 100 with you, right? I kept it all the way 100 with you, and I admitted that if it came down between Kell Brook moving down and fighting at 147, being forced to make that weight versus a Gary Russell, where it was some sort of catch weight, right? It was some sort of reasonable fight. I would rather see the Gary Russell. Now let's have you do the same thing. A Kell Brook that's put into a situation where he doesn't have to come all the way down to 147. Who do you give a better chance of beating Terence Crawford?
If they do,
you got saved by the bell.
If they do Kell Brook and Crawford at 54, I'm campaigning for that fight like if I was Team Crawford. But we're gonna say good morning.
Adam
We're gonna say good morning to Adam Kownacki. How are you, Adam, man? It's been a minute since we talked, man. Hoping everything is well for you and your family and your newborn, man.
Dang it. Yeah, he's already 8 years. He's getting he's a lot. He's getting big. Cause trouble.
Is he already picking up your gloves out the gym bag or nah?
Yeah, he's hitting the bag. I'm kind of nervous, man.
Oh man.
I was hoping it's gonna be soccer, but it looks like it's gonna be boxing.
Oh man. Look, I know a lot of fighters, they like to say you know they don't want their sons to fight, but I think sometimes they might make the best fighters, right? They always come into the game as an A side. When you're a junior, you're like automatically an A side because your father's known, so it gives you that promotional push.
Right, like Sugar Shane Mosley. I mean, Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, coming from a big family of boxing, definitely. But
did you name him after you?
No, I named after my grandfather, Kazimierz.
Okay. Kaz. Well, Adam, man, how have things been in terms of boxing for you? I know, that was your first loss with Robert Helenius, and since then, you haven't been back in the ring. So where, I guess, mentally are you, and what do you want to see next for yourself? Not really in terms of opponent, just in boxing in general.
I mean, PBC has started up in August, so now I'm just waiting. A lot of guys been sitting on the sidelines. So you got to see what happens with this COVID stuff, Obviously, to get more data on it, how to protect us more. But we got to see, hopefully I get a fight early next year, January, as soon as some of the stuff cleans up.
Adam, Amadi Wangia here. Thank you for joining us this early. Listen, you kind of just said it now, but you had the luxury of being one of the guys that got a fight before all this happened. So you do have a fight in 2020. You just mentioned January, hopefully early February. But if a situation were to arise this year, I mean, would you try to get one as early as you can, even if it's a tune-up style fight, or do you want a big fight right away?
I mean, I want a rematch, or I'll go back to the top guys, But I want to make my wrong all right. This was a guy I was supposed to beat up, but it's boxing. It's a heavyweight division where,
of course,
one shot changed everything. I was a little bit impatient, I think. I thought I was doing good. I realized the fight plenty of times, and I thought I had the fight basically in the bag. And I was impatient and rushed a little bit. Got caught with a good right hand. And
it's part of the job, champ.
Part of the job, man.
So Adam,
downhill since then, But it's definitely a learning experience, and can't wait to be back. I mean, I've been in the gym, I've been training.
That's what I was getting at.
So I just can't wait to get back in the ring.
How's that been for you? How has that been for you? The training, during this time, because you did fight before the pandemic really hit us. How have you maintained? Has it been difficult for you, with the new baby and everything?
I mean, it's been good. I mean, luckily, I've been living in Long Island for the past 5 years, so it wasn't that bad. Also have like a little property upstate, which we once the pandemic really hit, went up there for like 6-8 weeks, and I was running the mountains and had a bike out there, so that was pretty cool. And I'm gonna go open a gym up there too, so that should be very interesting. So I could do what I can for myself 6 weeks out, where I could just actually focus on boxing, because I feel like living in New York and like with the house, as you guys know, I'm big into community. I always want to help out and stuff. So that I think, and once you got bigger, it gets tough. Everybody wants you to help out and stuff. And I was trying to be there for everybody, but 6 weeks out, I mean, boxing is not a game. It's something very serious, and you just got to focus on boxing, And that was definitely one of the top lessons I learned.
So, Robert, what is Keith Conlon, your manager
Adam.
tell? Oh shit! I said Robert. I'm still thinking of Robert Garcia because of that robbery last night or Saturday, man. Poor Robert.
Robert fucked me up. So
no, but I'm actually thinking about Robert Garcia, man, because Robert Garcia was Jackson Martinez's trainer who fought Rolando Romero.
Man. It was that bad, huh?
Yeah, to me it was. I don't know. Did you see him? Did you see him on
catch
Showtime?
I didn't watch it. I watched the Ottawa fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen so far.
What you think about that?
Yeah, obviously. What you think about that? They heavyweights.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good boxer. I mean, he's very technical. He uses the jab well. I mean, but after Chavez, when he got inside, he did some damage, So, but I don't stick to the game plan, use his jab, and do what he has to do. Then he had a little injury and stuff, which happens, and so she wrote.
He retired.
Yeah.
He retired.
So Adam, has Keith said if you guys are going right back into Hellenius, or you're gonna get one before that? I would rather you get one before that. I'm Team Adam. You know what I mean? You went through the pandemic, and that's your first loss.
Polska.
But what do you want to do?
No, I mean, all the great fighters in the past, where it was Lennox Lewis or the other guys that lost, they got the rematch right away. So that's what I want. I just want to make sure, listen, that was just a fluke. I think I'm a better fighter. As I caught, there's a lot of new stuff in my life, like the kid, sleepless nights and stuff. But there's no excuses and stuff, but definitely a new learning experience. I just want to prove my wrong to be right, because I don't think he's a better fighter than me. And I just want to show the world that.
Listen, you were winning that fight. Early on, you were starting to implement your style and your plan. And so there was a lot of good things that you did in that fight up until, those two last rounds. Here's the thing for me, though. I get that that feeling that you want the get back. But as you said, the great fighters have gotten the rematch, but the great fighters never had to deal with COVID. The great fighters never had to deal with what's going on. I don't think anybody would blame you if you took a bubble style fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't interest you at all. You don't think that you earned the right to get a stay busy fight, because you might not get this fight again until February, March, April.
Yeah, I mean, I have a big ego, so.
Great answer, though. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. So, listen, I also wanted to get you on the show because it sounds like two PBC fighters and one that you're a common opponent with you. You had a fantastic fight with Arreola, and it sounds like he's going to be fighting, Andy Ruiz, a guy that we all thought eventually you were going to fight. So I kind of wanted your opinion on that matchup, if it takes place, which sounds like November this year.
I can't wait. It's going to be a great fight. I just hope Chris comes in such a good shape as he came for me, Because he came in shape for my fight, bro.
So Chris? You only hope Chris comes in shape? You believe Andy's in shape? Because he looks like he's training.
Yeah. I think he's gonna I think he's not gonna take this fight lightly, and I think he should be in shape. I shouldn't assume that, but I figured he wants to be on top of the game again, so he should come well prepared. Plus, he got new trainer and stuff, so we'll see.
So listen, this next question is my own, but it isn't like it's just kind of a journalism question. It's not like what I secretly want, but it's kind of the new fad in boxing, right? Like a fighter loses, he changes trainers. So are you changing or bringing someone in?
Nah, I'm a loyal dude, man. I've been with Keith for a while. I mean, if anything, like maybe, but not even no talk. I mean, nothing. Maybe just not even. That hasn't crossed my mind.
So you're in New York, kind of. Obviously, you're really upstate. I went to visit you once or twice. That's far. You're up there. But Hondi, I wouldn't know how far he is from you. Are you familiar with Hondi?
No.
Nah?
Scooter,
yeah.
Yeah, David Honix.
Scooter, come on, you gotta say.
Scooter, champ.
You know, I gotta let my listeners know his real name, but
I can't go by his government, man.
Scooter.
But yeah,
Shout out to the CEA fan,
bro.
man.
Do you work with Scooter? Have you ever?
Yeah, we worked before.
And what happened? No more? Like you?
Nah, he's cool. Scooter's the man.
So you don't want to? I'm just saying. Obviously, it's a heavyweight division. Stamina. Not that you didn't have it. Not that you didn't have it. You've always been a guy that throws a lot of punches, but we know that a good in-shape heavyweight beats a great heavyweight because look at Deontay. I hate to use him. Everybody knows that's my boy, but I hate to use him as an example. But it's like he relied on that one thing. If he would have had great stamina, maybe he would have let more punches go. So that's all I'm saying. I'm wondering who's your strength and conditioning coach, and are you planning on I don't know.
I mean, I've been working with Chris Carson since I think not July, since the Charles Martin fight, and you know, like conditioning is good. I'm healthy, and that's what I mean. That's key. I mean, I think you gotta get in boxing shape. I mean, all this other stuff is important, but you gotta keep your cardio up, you know, and then I think staying healthy throughout camp is most important, you know. So if anything, like maybe do Scooter in the beginning of camp just to get that camp up, but once camp is last 8 weeks, it's all it is. It's sparring and stuff, you know, making sure you're ready to fight, not to do burpees. I'm not trying to be a king of burpees, you know. I'm trying to do 1,000 burpees. I'm trying to, fight 12 rounds, throwing 100 punches around, which I'm able to do.
And I get that.
Correct.
I get that, and that's kind of like the same answer for the next question, because you've never been body beautiful. That's not your thing. You throw the punches that fight fans want. So it doesn't matter how you look, but you did look like you came in a little bit heavier for your last fight. You did look a little heavier.
No, I was lower than the fight before.
Yeah, it didn't look that way to me.
I felt
so
like
actually the WBC they weigh you the night before. So when I fought Arreola, the night after I was 275. I weighed at 265. Mm-hmm. And again, it's Helios. I was 265, and next night I was 265. Oh. So I mean, so I was my natural weight for this camp. So I mean, but I get that, and I've been like really trying to clean up my diet because that's mostly what it is, you know. It's a diet. I'm a big pizza guy, you know. Like New York pizza is fucking amazing.
Honest man.
So you gotta lay off that a little bit more, but
so what do you attribute your punch output to, bro? Because your punch output is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
It's pads. I mean, the power work we do with my trainer is we do 8-10 rounds of power work of nonstop punching. You know. I mean, we do that 2 times a week, and then 2 times a week we spar of 6, 8, 10, 12 rounds. So with 3-4 guys. I mean, it's a lot of work, you know. Maybe, and then plus that I had the kids, so the sleepless nights and stuff. So it was a lot, but you gotta do it. I mean, I want to be the best, and that's what it takes to be the best.
Definitely.
Hey, Adam, you stood on the fence.
Real quick,
he stood on the fence with that Ruiz Arreola fight. You just said you hope Arreola comes in shape. You didn't really pick a winner or a side.
Yeah, I like Chris. A good dude, man. I hope Chris pulls it out. But then I hope Andy wins too, so that we can make that fight happen. You know, if that's
definitely
the fans want to see, want to see me versus Andy. He called me out a while ago before he won that title.
Yeah,
I think I called him out again. I called him out, and he posted it anytime, anywhere. Posted on Twitter, but then he took it down. So I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, so I get that, and that kind of leads into this question. Like, I know that there was no rematch clause per se, right? But we've had Robert on air, and he has said that he wants the rematch. So,
Awesome.
You could take him at his word. That's fine. But have there been any other assurances, like, from anywhere else that says, like, yo, this is the fight. We are going to get this fight. It will be done. We're looking for a date. Anything like that?
I mean, Keith and Haymon said that's the fight you want. That's the fight you'll get.
Okay,
wow.
awesome.
So
that's great.
Good news for you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was hoping to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Real quick, I do want to get your thoughts on what's been going on lately. We've seen FA went to Top Rank, right? Now we're hearing that Michael Hunter is possibly on his way there. It seems like they're scooping up a lot of heavyweights. They got the Brazil guy. They got the guy from the Olympics. I don't remember what country. Irish. No. Yeah, they've been landing a lot of these heavyweights. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, just give us your overall, assumption or just thoughts.
I mean, I'm in a great position. I have two managers. I have Al Haymon, and then I have Keith Kownacki. Two great managers that you don't go where the best offer is, So obviously I'm loyal to PBC. That's where I'm at right now. But I want to be world champion. So whoever has the belt, we're going to, whoop their ass and take it back where it belongs, to PBC.
All right, Adam, you got any more time? We got a few questions from the people if you're not busy.
Yeah.
All right. So some of these you answered, so we'll just read them to give them their shout out, but move on. And that's the first one coming from Brandon in Cincinnati. You've already answered about the Robert Helenius rematch next for you. You said yes, that's what you want, and you've spoken to your managers. George Foster in the UK, you've also answered. He said, did you watch the Otto Wallin fight this past weekend? And does that fight interest you? You've answered that as well, so shout out to George. This one you answered as well, because we should have looked at this before we asked you all those questions. In Texas, Machine Gun Matthew Garcia says, thoughts on Ruiz versus Arreola? You just elaborated. And James Valdez in San Antonio, this one you haven't answered. He says, first off, thanks for coming on the show. My question is, have you heard the allegations that Fury has had tampered gloves in the Wilder fight? And what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
I stay on top, so I read some tweets about that. I believe the commission should do a good job. That's what they're for. They should keep an eye on us or on the teams, because I think it's messed up if they play with it. I believe in fair game. That's why I'm in the WBC clean program. I get tested and stuff. The glove stuff. We risk our lives. So I think that doing extra stuff like that is messed up. So I hope it's not true.
Got the next one coming in from Dennis in Tampa, Florida. Says, Dennis here, a kid from the Bronx now living in Tampa, Florida. Congratulations. I remember you saying you were going to be a dad. After you lost, did you feel you had to get in better shape? Not every heavyweight is going to be a Wilder, Joshua body double, but is that the adjustment you're making, or will it be something else? Thanks for being here with us, Boxing Hardcore.
You answered that already as well, so whichever one you've answered, just shout them out.
I'm going to be 245 in my next fight, man. I'm making this private, I'm going to make it open, public, so you guys keep me to my word. I'm fucking tired of this body, dad body look.
Wait. Are you just trolling them, or are you being for real? You're going to try to come in at 245? Because I seen you weigh 242 like 3 years ago, so I know that's well within your... Yeah, against Spilka, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, between fights, you put on too much weight, but I'm keeping it down since the fight. Man, I'm focused. I want to make sure when I come back that that you guys don't cut me out.
That's beautiful.
Awesome, and never count you out. By the way, never.
Caesar,
let's go, champ.
Caesar in Las Vegas says, Caesar from Vegas here. Thanks for coming on the show and talking to the fans, champ. If you had a 3-fight plan, who would you include in that plan?
First, of course, the rematch, right, against Robert.
Andy.
Andy, and then who has the belt,
Fury.
Fury or Joshua.
Wilder or Joshua.
Joshua, right.
You had been offered that AJ fight. Now, obviously, looking in retrospect.
But it wasn't really offer. It was like, hey, you guys want to fight? And we were like, what? Okay, no, bye.
Word.
Well, what I mean is, like, now that you've seen everything transpire, like you've seen him lose, but you've seen Wilder lose, and now, AJ's champion again and Fury is champion. Who do you think would have more of a difficult time with your style?
I think Wilder. Just because he don't like guys coming forward. But then Joshua also had problems with Ruiz coming forward, So it's hard, but every fight is different, It's one punch and it changes a lot. It's the heavyweight division, but you gotta step in the ring and find out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't like doing this talking like, let's say what will happen if this. Let's do it, Well,
let's do it. Let's do it one more time. Dillian Whyte's in the mix. What are the odds that he ends up with a belt and he's a guy that you're gonna end up fighting? If he gets in there with Joshua,
who doesn't have a belt now, right?
The WBA is handing him out like hotcakes, so I think Ness got one.
Yeah, nah. Adam about to get an eliminator in the WBA. Let me see where you rank that in the WBA. They probably got you somewhere nice.
Oh, I got
Is that all belts right there? Oh, I thought that was all belts.
Let me see.
I'm about to bring it.
Uh-oh.
He's number 5 in the WBA.
Yeah, I got one,
bro. Look at that.
I got some gold.
Slick.
Let's go, champ.
Oh, that's dope.
Let's go.
Yeah, but it's crazy. So when I fought Arreola, I won this, and then the IBF just took me out, and then the guy that beat Charles Martin is ranked number 1, 2.
And that's such horseshit.
Yo, IBF always taking out a PBC fighter, though. Remember, after Kell Brook beat Porter, they dropped him out the top 15.
Yep. Out the top 15.
That's not strange for you to say that after you won, they took you out the rankings.
Like, how does that happen? How are you ranked somewhere and then you win a world title or a version of any title, and then they drop you? Like, it's you're basically saying this is all political when that happens.
Sure. I think that's why we need like one organization to run this, and then just
absolutely.
One belt where people know, like, yo, that's why I like what WBSS was doing, right? With the cruiserweight division.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, Adam. All right, you convinced us. We'll start the Boxing Voice belt. We'll do it for you. It's okay.
Awesome. One more, yes.
he said one more.
I'll go back to the question. That's BZ. I'm gonna go ahead and read his. He said, "Thank you for coming on. Much love and respect coming from Brooklyn. In your opinion, what do you feel contributed to your loss against Hellenius, and are you the type to avenge or get back to the drawing board, start fresh?"
Answered that.
Yeah,
or answered like half of that.
Yeah, I called a good right hand. I was panicking. He called me a good shot. And I got up instead of taking my the referee slip. So instead of I guess taking back and covering, I was like, I got you, motherfucker. I'll get you back and get back. And he caught with a good 1, 2, 3, and that put me on my ass, I got up though, and then he just let a lot of shots go, and the ref stopped it.
All right. The next was coming in from Lewis. He says, "Saludo, champ." That means hi, champ. Says, "I remember years ago I saw you fight in Agganis Arena in Boston. Do you ever consider changing your style or adding head movement to have a better defense and not get hit too much?"
I think I throw so many shots. That's why my head movement is not really, you can't really see it. Which, I just slip back, and when I work on it, people are like, "Oh, wow, why don't you do this more often?" I guess I get so caught up in the action pack and throwing the shots. I just gotta work on that more, It's not even, I guess, more feet work is what I should work on more.
Well, and then when you're throwing punches, like you're tying the guy up. The guy's busy. Essentially, what head movement does is, keep you evasive. But if you're making that fighter work to be busy working against your punches, then it's accomplishing the same goal in a sense. You know what I mean? But you are real slick at times. Like, people see you, and I think it's surprising how slick and athletic you are to them. They say, you said the dad bod, but you have really good work. You know what I mean? You move really well, compared to what somebody might think. Exactly. Decent. That's the word, decent.
I get lazy sometimes. I'm like, he can't hurt me. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next one's coming in from Ryan O'Rourke in the UK. Says, "What up, Adam from Liverpool? The other day, the guy."
Congrats on winning a championship, man.
Yeah. Soccer, yeah.
Definitely.
The other day, the guys were discussing splitting the heavyweight into 2 different weight classes. What are your thoughts on that? We're talking about super heavyweight, bringing on a new division.
Well, not
super
us.
Heavyweight.
Not us.
Basically 200 to 225.
But that's not us. That's something that's being brought up at the WBC convention this year.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah. So
I'm old school, man. Leave it the way it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right, man. If you can't be in the
That's
heavyweight
sweet.
division, lose some weight. That's just that simple, man. I like it.
I like do it UFC where you cap at 265.
True. Yeah, the UFC does do that. Some of these guys come in 300 pounds almost, man. I mean, look, I personally thought it was
267.
267 and 270 with Tyson Fury. Andy came in that time 280 something. Like, it's a lot of weight, but why complicate things more, right? We got enough belts as it is. Next one's coming in from Jab Left Hook. Says, "Champ, when I first saw you on TV, I was highly impressed how well you put your combinations together. You also adjust your speed and power on them based on distance or situation. As a heavyweight, what are the 3 most important tips you would give to another heavyweight just starting for sparring? Amateurs or even pros? God bless, Champ."
I think it's basics. I think jab is the key. Make sure you get the jab right for the timing. And second thing is footwork. I remember going to my first time I went to camp with Vladimir Klitschko. I was so shocked of how well he moves his feet, like how much time he even put into footwork drills and stuff. I mean, that was real shocking, and that's I think really important. And then listening to your coach. I mean, you guys have a guy you trust, and listen to what he tells you to do.
All right, and I think, unless you guys refresh, this is the last one coming in from Jeff Corley, who I think is in the UK. Says, "You're one of my favorite fighters to watch. Thanks for coming on the show. Who is your biggest inspiration?"
Right now, my kid, baby Kaz. I mean, watching the kid smile every day just puts a smile on your face, Make sure, coming as an immigrant to the States, it wasn't that easy. I mean, my parents did everything they could for me, so I just want to do everything I could for him, so he could do whatever he wants to do. If it's boxing, if it's soccer, if it's becoming a lawyer, a doctor, a politician, whatever it is, but just doing the right thing.
Beautiful answer. There is one more.
We had 3 more, Adam. If you
3
still
more.
had time, we'd love to ask you these questions. You all right?
Yeah, I'm going with it.
All right. Next one's coming in from George in Dallas, Fort Worth, who says, "Who wins, Loma or Teofimo Lopez, and how?"
I like Lopez by knockout, man.
Yes. You the man. You the man, champ. You the man.
He's from Brooklyn, too.
Brooklyn. I'm Honduran, so I'm mad biased, bro. I'm sorry.
What you guys think?
I think Tio, man, and I think he's gonna shock the world, man. When he hits Loma, it's not gonna be too much moving around.
I got Loma because he's been shocking the world for the last 5, 6, 7 years. With how incredible the guy is, time in and time out. But that's just my opinion.
I guess.
By the way, just so you know, me and Alex over there got a pie bet. So if Loma wins, he's got to pie himself in the face in front of everybody. We'll bring you on so you could cheer him on.
It's all right, Adam. It won't be me receiving the pie.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look, I got 100 push-up bet on demand with Super Max. I got a pie. I'm so sure this is gonna be a win for Lopez, bro. But anyway, let's go on to the next question. Coyote from the UK says, "What are your thoughts on Big Baby Miller latest drug failed test?" I know that's your friend.
Yeah, tough situation, man.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to speak on it if you don't want to.
Anything you don't want to answer, you ain't got to answer, Adam.
Yeah. I guess they must have figured, he's a good friend of yours. But the next was coming.
I want to figure out like what really happened. Like did he really take it, or is it from like the past? I mean, I want to wish him the best. I haven't spoken to him in a while. We'll see, man. That sucks, though. I mean, I hope it was just a little mix-up, man.
All right. Next was coming in from Steve. Says, thanks for coming on the show. Chicago had a huge Polish community. Any chance you can talk PBC having a show there once fans are allowed back into venues?
I fought in Chicago once, actually, on the Andrew Fafar undercard.
Oh.
It was my first fight on the PBC, too. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, it's the champ.
It's the champ. Let's
Look
go,
at him,
champ.
y'all.
Adam, you didn't fight on that Chicago card on ESPN like 8 years, or no, not that long ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
It was on Showtime.
Was it on Showtime? It was the one, but was it at the baseball field?
No, it was.
No. Okay, then I'm confused. Never mind.
UIC.
So.
Yes. Okay.
How you doing?
So, Champ, good morning, man. Adam, do you know Shannon? Like, y'all met?
Yeah, we met.
Oh, cool.
That's my boy. That's my boy. I'm a big Adam fan. Big Adam fan.
Thank you.
Champ,
big fan.
Yo, did you put them hats on the website yet? Why you doing us like that?
He keep coming on with different colors, styling on us.
My bad. Hey, yo, Adam, I want to give you a hat and a shirt if you don't mind, and a hoodie.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man.
I got you.
Stuff.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, hook me up with some of that goodness you got over there.
Yeah.
So, hey, Adam, so when you fighting again?
Hopefully early next year.
The end of this year. Where at?
I don't know what's up with this COVID stuff, so
right. So you were top rank, right? Or you were PBC?
PBC.
So how many shows are they doing for the rest of the year?
I think they already got everything planned out except the 2 dates in December.
2 days in September? 2 days?
December.
Okay. Two days in December. And they gonna definitely let you on the card?
Probably this year or next year. I'm still waiting for confirmation.
You been training, champ?
Yeah, of course. No.
You in the gym? Like, what's your regimen like, champ? Like, give me like your idea. Today's Monday, so what you gonna do today? Or give me a week with the champ.
Yeah, so I do pads.
No. Like for instance, like you wake up Monday morning. You wake up. What you do?
Yeah, I take myself for a walk. I mean, for 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk, have breakfast, hang out. I'm doing some work in the backyard, so I'm doing some construction. Then I have training, relax, lunch, and then in the evening at 8 I have a strength conditioning session or running.
Oh, nice. So you training twice a day?
Yeah.
Really, like 3 times. You go for your morning walk, which is necessary, and then you come back, you chill, you do some stuff in the house, then you go to the gym, you work out in the gym, and then you go back at night to do another workout.
Right. Well, I have the gym at the house, so I do the last work at the house.
The last work is at the house. So let me ask you a question. What's your regimen like when you in the gym? To give us an idea. You shadow box. What's your day like, champ?
So jump rope, shadow boxing, pads, heavy bags.
Wait. Hold up, champ. You start off with the jump rope?
Yeah.
Ooh, now that's a secret that a lot of fighters don't know about and don't do. Starting with the jump rope and finishing with the jump rope. So you start with the jump rope. How many rounds you jump when you start?
3, 4.
Yo, let me jump in. Adam, how long could you jump rope in those 3 or 4 rounds without messing up? Like, how many skips before you mess up? Because every time I try to jump rope, my goal is 3 minutes, but I never, ever in the last 4 years could make it to 3 minutes straight without messing up. But I am 6'5", but I mean, you tall too, so like, do you mess up, or could you go one whole round just skipping?
Yeah, I can do one whole round. I mean, it's like more like a warm-up. So you're bushing a little bit, talking with the guys. So you end up, messing up a little bit more than you would want to.
Okay. So we start off with your jump rope. You say you get 15 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
A 15-minute start, and then you hit your what? You shadow boxing?
Shadow box, yeah. 3 rounds. And then 2 rounds of like doing some work around the ring. Moving around, then heavy back for a round, then pads, and then you do the heavy back again.
Ooh, okay. So that's a good workout. Then you do a little speed bag. Do you like the double end bag, champ?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Okay, so you work all the bags. You like the mitts?
Mitts, yeah. That's most
Now,
of my stuff
champ,
is the mitts.
after you finish that, what you do after that? After your floor work?
None. Just relax, take a bath, and go home. Go eat.
No.
Jump up again.
No, you got to jump rope at the end. Yeah. If you don't spar. If you spar, don't jump rope.
Well, Shannon, he did say that him and his trainer do 8 to 10 rounds straight of pad work.
So what? You got to jump that rope afterwards. And you ain't say one crucial thing. One thing you ain't tell me, champ.
I just slip back.
No. Sit-ups.
Oh. We don't do sit-ups. Tell him, Adam. We heavyweights, man.
Cut that out, champ. Champ, you too tough. You too tough of a human being not to have a strong stomach. Let me explain something to you, champ. The weakest part of any animal is his belly.
That's right.
The weakest part of any animal alive is his belly, champ.
That's why they go on their belly when they submit.
You feel me? The belly is the weakest part of any animal, okay? Right. You got to attack your stomach, champ. You got to exercise when you come in the gym, and you got to exercise out. When you come in the gym, you got to get you 400 or 500 sit-ups before you start.
400 or 500?
400 or 500 when you finish.
Man, come on, Shannon. You ain't going to be able to work out. You do 400 or 500 before you start.
So what? Build up to that. Start with 50 today before you train.
Listen, I ain't going front. Tim Bradley, I interviewed him before when he was deep in training and he was vegan at one point. He did say he did 1,000 a day, but that's Tim Bradley. He 140 pounds, man.
So what? Marvin Hagler, Muhammad Ali, he did thousands of sit-ups. Ali did thousands of sit-ups. Joe Louis, they did thousands of sit-ups. People don't know about this.
Hold up. So, Shannon, you telling us your stomach is not genetics? That you be doing sit-ups at this age? You still doing sit-ups?
Negative. I'm not, unfortunately. But that's what I'm about to start doing consistently.
Well, damn.
Planks.
So you got a crazy stomach then, cause damn.
Yeah, I gotta get right. But you know what I learned?
Get right, man. I just showed off the other day, champ. You look like you're doing sit-ups.
A lot of that's genetic, and I don't go crazy. I got fat at one point. But let me explain something to you, champ. I learned this at the end of my career. Your stomach is everything, Adam. Your stomach is everything. Yeah. When you build that core up, you're going to see how you're already a strong animal. You got a chin, you got everything, you got the heart. But you know what you're not doing, champ? You're not moving your fucking head. I told you that when we met. I told you, remember?
Double end bag. I did more double end bag.
That's right. Double end bag. But guess what, champ? You think it's just a double end? No. It's the score. When you move your head like this, you tightening up your core, champ.
Right.
You gotta go in. You gotta dedicate the rest of your career to your stomach, champ. You gotta do it to making your core super, super strong. Exercise in and exercise out. You know who told me that? 2 people. Rest in peace, Jamal Eddy, my man Mel, and Corey Spinks Jr. You know what I'm saying? Corey Spinks told me. He said, "You gotta exercise in and you gotta exercise out. When you come in, sit-ups. Right. When you leaving, sit-ups. That's story. Andrew, man, I'm serious, man. You bullshitting. If you don't want your career, you don't want your career to go by the side, you better tighten up your stomach, champ. Because your belly is your weakest point on any human being. If I was fighting you, I'm going for the stomach. Immediately.
You know, the one thing I will say though, Adam, is obviously the champ would know far more than I would, but from a commercial standpoint, I think like I usually watch with like casual fans, some right, and I'll bring them over for an Adam fight, right, and they'll say, "Oh man, who's this?" Oh, this is Adam Kownacki, very good fighter, throws a bunch of punches. It's gonna be exciting. They see you and they resonate because you look more like they do. I mean, obviously, a world-class athlete, you know what I'm saying? So you're nothing like them, but they don't know any better. So visually, the optics, they're like, yo, I want this guy to win.
Yes.
Right.
I think that's what happened with Andy. Look at Champ looking at us like we crazy. Look at the Champ looking at us like we crazy.
Champ looking at Mario like,
what? From a commercial standpoint, I'm not saying that's going to help.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing about Andy.
I mean, you could still have a strong core and not have all these abs. Not everybody's built like that.
Abs, Champ, Adam, forget those abs. Fuck how they look.
It's just strengthening the core. And your core actually starts from above your knee all the way up It's not just your stomach. Your core starts from above your knee all the way up, so your quads are part of your core, guy.
You heard that, man? Did you hear that, man?
Yes,
what
sir.
he said?
Yes, sir.
From your knees up. You get me, Adam?
Right.
You need forget the looks, champ. I don't care about looks. You need it. My stomach look like this. Yeah, I'm genetic. I'm a fucking aboriginal. You know, I'm a fucking aboriginal to North America. Look at my stomach. I'm an animal. But listen, forget looks. Because you can look like the Empire State Building, but I hit that stomach and you crumble like the Empire State Building. You feel me? You gotta be strong in the stomach because it makes you stronger in the mind. Trust me. You gotta be stronger in the stomach than you are any place else because it's gonna make you stronger in the mind and make your punches stronger and your stamina gonna go up. You're gonna say, damn, everything's stronger. My mind gonna be strong. If you can get through that stomach pain and make that stomach pain like a fortress, you can hit that stomach and when they hit your stomach, you gotta laugh and say, "I'm doing sit-ups, bitch." You feel me? Tell them I'm doing sit-ups, bitch.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
See you guys in a few.
Well, Adam, I want to thank you obviously for coming on, bro. Those are all our questions, man. Next time you're available, we definitely want to get you back on as soon as you got some news to announce. But thank you once again. If you got any social media, please give it out.
Yeah, AK Babyface on Twitter, Instagram, Adam Kownacki on Facebook. And if you want some gear, check out akbabyface.com. We ship all over the world.
You got the hats, man. You got the hats.
Hats, shirts,
nice. All right.
everything.
I'm a hat guy.
I need all that.
Awesome.
I need all that.
I need that too. I need the hat.
all that.
Yeah, everything.
Hey, Adam.
Get your shirt. Get your shirt.
Oh, I like the print on
The
it.
army green? I love it,
I
man.
need all that. I need all that. Hey, champ, wait. You know, before you leave, can you give us a let's go, champ?
Let's go, champ.
Yeah.
Nice, we shoot. We got in Polish too, man.
Yo,
wait, say it in Polish. Say it in Polish. Say it in Polish.
Nice, mistrzu.
Nice, Mishu.
Nice, Mishu.
Nice, mistrzu.
Adam, let me ask you.
Nice, Mishu.
I was in Poland in 1991. I fought in Poland. I had a great time, by the way. I was in Warsaw.
Nice.
Shout out to all my Polish people. I love y'all.
Awesome, man. Take care, man.
Adam, one last one before you go. In your gym, do you hear people saying like "Let's go, champ"?
Yeah, I mean, I think every gym hear that.
That's what I was trying.
Famous.
That's what I'm trying to tell him. He don't believe me, yo. Like people literally be saying that. Like it's gotten so big.
Come on, man, for real.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Like in Poland, they say it everywhere.
Come on, man, for real.
Yeah,
let's go,
man.
champ.
Telling you,
man. In Warsaw, like everywhere in Warsaw, they say it. Let's go, champ.
Oh, come on, man. I got to go back to Poland and see my people.
Yo.
I'm Polish, by the way. I want to tell you, Adam, I'm Polish.
I like the red and white everywhere.
I'm the only black Polish man in the world.
Big Baby said he was too.
Big Baby too. And we had a soccer player that was black too, Olisa Debe.
Oh, yeah?
Striker. He was man good.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, it's us black Polish people. We got to stick together.
Adam, man, thank you again, brother. Go ahead and take care of the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, champ.
There you have it, man. Thank you, Adam Kownacki, and thank you, obviously, Shannon, for jumping on, man. You always being a true champ. I told you, man, everybody says that, man. You don't know what you created with that, man. That's going to inspire people, I think, as much as Rocky did. You know?
Oh, shit. Too funny. Let's
go, champ.
You know Rocky inspired a lot of people. People still walk out to Rocky beats, you know what I mean? So I think Let's Go Champ is really becoming that real life movement, man.
Champ.
You know what it is?
It's all over the world, champ.
You know what it is now? The Ronnie, do you remember a bodybuilder from Texas? His name was Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? And he used to say lightweight in the gym all the time. Yo, yeah. I remember when I first started working out, people would all lightweight all the time, right? Wow. And now like the Let's Go Champ is like that new thing that just took over. You know what I mean? Like I think for real, like real talk, I think that there are people out there who aren't like fans of boxing or any sports really that work out, that say it or hear it and have no idea where it originated. Like it got that big. Like it's bigger than
bigger than boxing. It's bigger than boxing. It's just like it's just like that motivational speech that's happening in them gym. Like whenever you see, if you walk in and somebody beating on the bag, you're like, okay, champ, let's go, champ. Like it's just natural now. It's natural, but yeah, man, buddy. Shannon, man, we appreciate you jumping on with Adam. Obviously, look, if you're busy, you know you ain't got to stick around. You know we talk boxing all day, man. So yeah,
I appreciate you. I got to jump up.
For sure.
My son's birthday. My son's birthday weekend. Shannon Briggs, he turned 22, 23. And so
happy birthday to him, man.
Happy birthday to him.
Thank you, champ. But I'm about to go work out myself. I got a fight in November. I'm back in the gym. So ribs must break. You know what I'm saying? Make ribs break again. Let's go.
Right. That's the moniker for this fight.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'll talk to y'all later.
For sure, champ. Thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Shannon Briggs and Adam Kownacki. We're going to get out to these callers real quick. A quick word from our sponsor.
Let's hit the super chats real quick. You got my man, Mayimbe Shannon dropping gems this morning. Got the diamond emoji with 5 fire emojis. Damn, 5 fire emojis. All right, we got Vincent comes in, says, can we get a 10 count for Deshaun Super Freak Smith, a boxer from Connecticut who was murdered this weekend? Oh, wow. Sorry for that, man. Murdered. Ness, do you know about Deshaun Super Freak Smith? I'm going to have to see.
No.
At least get that 10 count for him.
No.
We
check
can do
the
that at the end of the
pre-pro.
show.
Check the pre-pro. We're going to go to these other super chats, and we'll be right back
Definitely.
to that. Check the pre-pro.
Gotcha.
Let's start from the beginning. Ohio Runs Boxing says, this will ruin Crawford's reputation. Shaking my damn head. No, it won't.
Wait, who said that?
Ohio Runs Boxing, Marcus.
Smart man.
He comes back with another one and says, that Ohio boy, Mark Davis, put hands on you, Gary. Laugh out loud. R. Jonesy says, like Earl, Mikey, if you run your mouth, you gonna get faded. So he basically saying, listen, Gary talking slick, let him get beat up. By Crawford, let Crawford beat him up. Big Supermax, the mastermind, Plainview, Texas says, hey, Gary's so competitive, he fights once a year. I mean, name a dude calling Gary Russell out, because that never came out. Name a dude calling Gary Russell out. He's called out everybody. Of course he fight once a year. He don't want meaningless fights. He want to fight the real people in the world, and they don't want to fight him. So he's just supposed to keep fighting fluffies for what? I know, technically that would at least keep him on the minds of boxing fans and force the fight, but in his mind, he's like, why am I fighting, insignificant fights? Like, I want Leo, he ducking. I want Abner, he ducking. Frampton, he ducking, Let's go like that. But anyway.
Yeah, I verified that, Ness. It's true. Community mourns the loss of Deshaun Smith, killed in a late-night shooting in New Haven. Wow. Looks like, for those who didn't know, former world champion boxer and New Haven resident Chad Dawson trained with Smith at Ring 1 and told News 8 in a statement Sunday in part, he was a great kid with a lot of potential, a great father to his daughter, Ezra. Deshaun was a humble guy and very respectful. Would have never thought this would happen to him. And it's unfortunate, and I read more, and the owner of Ring 1 Boxing Gym in New Haven and Smith's coach, Brian Clark, said of Smith, he was a real good kid. I wouldn't be standing here in the ring for no reason. I can't change anything. This is my third kid who's gotten killed. He was a good kid. He was a great father. There's nothing more important than being a great father. That's the biggest loss. So condolences out to the family and all his loved ones, man.
Definitely.
All right. Did we ever get to the sponsors? No. We're finishing up
did
super
not.
chats. We got R. Jonesy who says, how y'all gonna tell a man, no, don't try to go be great? We got my Gene Bay who says, Shannon dropping them gems in the morning. I think you got to that end. You got the Vincent. That means we've gotten to everybody. We'll hit these sponsors and we're going to go to
what
the
was
callers.
the name of your burner account?
For which one?
That you super chatted with?
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that. I don't have the time for
Oh,
that.
my bad. You can tell me off air. That's
Listen, no, because you got to understand. Anybody, we got to nip this burner account in the bud. That would make you, pun intended, that would make you so much of a weirdo because you're losing 30%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah,
but burner
hypothetically, if I had a burner account and I could actually super chat to myself and not lose, that made sense. But I'm gonna, just to prove a point or get someone to back me, quote unquote, I'm gonna lose 30%. Nah, chill.
Oh, you know I'm trolling, but there's nothing wrong with having like a burner account. Like people have them all the time. Like,
No, there is something wrong.
I have no
there's
idea
not.
what that is.
I don't know what a burner account.
Dude, what are you talking about? Like a
why would a burner
Finstagram?
account-
Everybody got Finstagrams. Like it's just a
A
way
what?
for you to not
A
for you to express
Finstagram?
yourself
Wait,
without
wait, what?
Fake Instagram. Finstagram, you never heard of that shit?
Oh man, you must be in the troll world.
That must be some millennial shit.
I
bro.
mean, you
Troll
be in
world right
Twitter,
Yo.
Twitter for more than a year and a half. Yeah, you got to learn all about that, or otherwise you don't know why you're saying something.
knows
And five
the-
people all of a sudden start ganging up on you. Like, damn, these five people seem to really feel the exact same way. You don't realize
It's the same guy.
Yeah,
I
don't have one. I don't have one, but honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with them. Like, I put my real name on there. You know, for people that don't use their real name, you know, why would they have a burner account? They
I don't
don't
got
need
a
it.
burner account. I'm
Yeah,
like
I don't
Popeye.
have one, but
I'm
I don't think
Popeye.
there's
Whatever
anything
I
wrong with
says, I said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like sometimes you just want to be on Twitter, you want to say what you want, and you don't want that backlash. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always for like, you know, trolls.
Mario,
Champ,
Mario,
you just
please.
told us that you're every troll in the chat.
Yeah, Mario. Please, Mario, please,
Nah, I
just
swear I
stop.
don't
No,
have one.
seriously, just stop at this point. You sound like you have one.
Yo,
I mean, here's the thing. If I had one, I wouldn't give a shit if I told you or not. That's how you can know I don't have one, because I don't give a shit.
mean,
To
look,
me, it's
dog,
nothing. It's just the
gotta,
sign of
you
the
know.
times. Like, people got them. What's the big deal?
Yeah, he said the sign of the
I
times.
don't know what
Terrence
he's talking about.
Lloyd on the super chat says it's okay for the bum lord to openly duck real welterweights and fight pedestrians and undersized fighters. These tenders want me to go on an apology tour for dissing the bum lord, but that ain't happening. All right.
So I gotta fix this here.
All right. Well,
problem,
look,
Champy.
Gary Russell, bro, as much as I don't know who that burner account was, but look, there's some people that kind of run with that. You know, they're going to run with that. You know, why are you going to let Mikey Garcia be great and all these guys
Dare
be
to be
great,
great.
and not let him dare to be great? But, you know, the boxing hardcores who look at the weights and seeing that he hasn't competed outside the weight and really start to factor in all the other stuff, that's how we get kind of like pulled away from that. You know what I'm saying? So the guys that are just concentrating on just having him be great, that's cool. We want that, you know, but like you can't just put that on us to just accept it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna point out the obvious reasons why we don't want it to happen. But again, you know, interestingly enough, he's like dropped in little informations, you know, little past things, and it's like it's giving us a narrative. So, yeah, I'm getting pulled in. I'm getting pulled in by that. You know, things like the weight, they start to kind of fall to the wayside a little bit because I'm so interested in what's going on. And let's be honest, like we get excited when there's beef. We get excited when there's a storyline. And I'm not saying this is nothing to not get excited about. I'm just saying, let's take it for what it really is.
Yeah,
And what is that? And what is that?
It's a very little guy fighting a very good bigger guy.
Mm-hmm. Reaching. Yo, listen, I this isn't about Gary daring to be great. This is about whether or not Gary's being set up to lose. Like daring to be great, it's like you really believe he's got a shot to beat Crawford, and I feel like anybody that believes that Gary Russell, not because of skill set, but because of all the physicality that he lacks going into the fight and every single obstacle against him is being put in there to lose. Like if you're saying that he beats one of the pound for pound best in the world with all of that against him, then he's got to be your number one pound for pound fighter in the world. No question. He has to be, right? Or perhaps you just don't like Terence Crawford. Because that could be it too.
Did we go to the sponsors yet?
We did not. We were in super chats.
Remember. Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I do, Majid. I support Pac Triple G. Remember, I want Pacquiao to fight Triple G. You see what I'm saying? There's certain little guys that could beat certain big guys. You just got to be strategic.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
We're going out to Caesar in Las Vegas. Listen, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Blog Talk gave us 3 hours of greatness yesterday, but they are not rocking out with us today. They've dropped off. So, Info Joe, I don't know if you're listening because you haven't hung up. Maybe you can still hear me, and for whatever reason I can't connect. I don't know. But
hey,
Cesar,
what happened?
Cesar La Vega, what up?
Yo. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, dog.
Happy
Monday,
lunes.
Man, it was so hard to get up this morning, but you guys are making my day go by way better, way easier. Appreciate the interview. Hopefully my background's not too loud. But yo, man, yeah, this fight, I'm not with it. I mean, and it's not because I wouldn't want to see it, because of course I'd watch it. You know, especially because Gary been running his mouth, and then there's other fighters that came out and debunked whatever he was saying about Bud. So, does he deserve to get his little noggin rock? Yeah, maybe. But is this going to do anything for Bud? I really don't think so. It's just going to give the fans another reason to talk down on Bud. You know, you can call it a cherry pick. You can call it, beating up on a little guy. So, I see it as just another point for haters to just talk down on Bud's resume or whatever. But I mean, that's the way I see it.
Cut it.
Hey, yo, Caesar crazy. He said his little noggin rocked.
I actually love that part right there. That was pretty funny. Let's see. We got
Mr.
Who's
next?
Mr. PBC, who forgot to remind me at 6 a.m. to send him his 3rd shirt. That's right. Patreon. He getting them shirts.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great. Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what's good? Ness and Mario. I was about to say Mike.
What up, man?
What's good? Man, I didn't see this whole beef with Gary Russell and Terence Bud Crawford. This is crazy. I mean, like, the dude's hella small, but, there's some small people out there, man, that got hands. I mean, let's not let it be known. Kevin Hart can knock somebody out. Like, so, I mean, I would like to see it. Fuck it. I mean, I think Terence Crawford has something up his sleeve for a fight this year, and I'm very curious. I mean, it could be Lucas Batista. I mean, it could be so many people like Manny Pacquiao. I don't know. revenging his belt that he lost to the school teacher. It could be a bunch of stuff. Um, but baby boy, 25 life, he might just go on that top ranked diet, get him a little McDonald's meal, and chill out for the rest of this year. You never know. But yeah, that's my call.
Dang, the bro said Kevin Hart will knock somebody out.
Yo, we going out to Keem in Florida.
I open the door for audiences in all of sports to go back to the way it was in Jesus' name. Amen. It's done. The fight, I'm making $10 million. I'm not really worried about what he making on him.
I believe you.
That's why you're going to see in Jesus' name. Amen. With Earl Spence.
Man, you're not fighting no shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Yo.
What up?
What up? Good morning, y'all. Hey, Shannon is really good at interviews with fighters, man. Like, for real.
He is.
He really does a good job. He asks great questions. He gives great advice. Shannon likes to joke around a lot. He's always laughing and smiling, but he seems to get kind of serious when he talks to these fighters about, what they should be doing, what are you doing, what are you gonna do. I like it. It's really good to hear him interview fighters. But yeah, man, as far as the Gary Russell and Bud Crawford, I think, like Doomy was saying, this is just a story. It's a good narrative to go with this fight. G. Russ done punched Crawford in the jaw back in the day. G. Russ, when he talk his smack, he's real smooth with it, and he's real cocky with it. So we enjoy that kind of, if you're good at trash talk, you can sell a fight. And to me, that's just what this is. It's just a good story. It's a good narrative. It sounds good, but I mean, come on, man. G. Russ is way too small. Bud stops dude inside of 4 rounds, man. And then we'll have to hear all the, he was too small, he fought a smaller guy.
So how tall are you, Keem?
Nobody.
How tall are you, Keem?
Like 5'9", 5'10" on my best day.
And you don't think that you can knock me out or get a decision over me one day in Border Wars?
I mean, I could, but I'm also your weight.
Nah, you said you not. You said you 190, and you just said you 5'7".
I'm 210. I want to get to 190.
And Gary
right
Russell
now,
and Gary Russell 140 right now though. He gonna get
man,
the
that
147.
Man walk around 138.
Nah.
Bud walk around. Come on, Bud fight at a higher weight than he walks around at. Come on.
Why
man,
you ain't
that's
had
crazy.
this energy with Mikey though?
Come on, man. How you know I didn't, bruh? What energy did I have for Mikey?
I don't remember your energy. I ain't hear you talking about Mikey couldn't do it.
Why are you doing that then? Like what? You made it sound like as if you knew what he had already thought about that. Well, but like, how do you know he's not being inconsistent? How do you know he's being inconsistent?
Mario, because that's how good I am. If he would have had the same, he would have been like, I did. He said, instead he chose to say, how you know I didn't. He didn't. He didn't come right out and defend himself because he know he's seen something.
Right,
he's seen something. His Latin bias seen something with Mikey.
That's fair. I
Correct
got you.
me
That's
if
fair.
I'm wrong. King Born, what up?
Intro status. Let's go, champ.
When you see old dirty bastard fall in a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
Hey, yo, morning. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me, guys?
Loud and clear, champ.
This
we
how
heard
we
it.
doing it, man, with this Crawford and Gary Russell thing, man. I need to see it to believe it, man. I need to be driving in the UFO land on Ness, know what I mean? Land on Ness crib. The man come out saying, yo, I'm an earthling, give Ness $1 million. You heard? I don't believe nothing until it happened with this Gary Russell and Crawford thing. And yo, peace to Shannon Briggs. Yo, Adam Kownacki, man, fluffy man around the waist. Yo, go do the Shaolin Buddha monk style. You heard? Go get a tree or get a 10-pound weight and bang your stomach. That's going to improve your stomach. For real, for real. That's what they be doing. You know what I mean?
They do. You ain't lying, man. Gabe Rosado had like a 10-pound medicine ball.
Yo, I like Adam. You know, he's from Brooklyn, whatever. But, yo, his heart ain't in it, man. You can't be looking like that, man. And you know why Tyson always got knocked out in the head, in the face. If your stomach is like steel, how your punch is going to affect it? It can't affect it, dog.
Cut it. We're going out to Gado.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, I'm just calling in tell y'all, look, man, ain't no burner accounts, man. I'm R. Jones, me, Gatto, aficionado, the desperado. Listen, man, if Gary Russell want to keep talking, dog, Terence Crawford is a man, just like Gary Russell is a man. If he want to keep running his mouth, he can get him in the ring and put hands on that man. It's that simple.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't be letting dudes run their mouth. See, look, sometimes if a dude's smaller than you, you just smack him. Take all the fight right out of him. Smack him, because you feel like, yo, you know I'm bigger than you. You know this abuse. Good smack in the face. But then what happens when that little man takes that smack and counters you? If a dude is about that action, give him that sauce. Give him that sauce. You ain't got nobody else to give it to.
That's messed up. Yo, they coming at you, man. They coming at you right now, Ness. They coming at you. They coming at you, champ. They say your energy ain't the same for Usyk, champ.
Usyk? What about Usyk? He already proved.
He said, why can't he be great, they said.
He proved that he not with teaspoon, man. Dog, don't be mad at me because he dropped the ball with teaspoon.
I used to get it in Ohio.
J. Will, Ohio, good morning.
Yeah, hello?
What up, champ? You got it? You got it sound like you dropped the phone.
My bad. Yo, man, I think people kind of forget, man, how Terence be looking when he fights smaller fighters, man. The way he manhandled Hank Lundy was ridiculous, bruh. Like, Hank Lundy was at 140, and it was just like the dude was too small.
Let me ask you a question right there. Would Hank Lundy beat Gary Russell?
Just based on size, hell yeah, man.
Man,
it's just,
you wildin'. You from Ohio? You wildin', man. Get up.
Bruh.
While Ness takes a walk, go ahead, champ. Fill us in more.
So, I mean, look what he did to Gamboa. I mean, Gamboa was quick. You know, Gamboa had a little bit of power rocking a little bit, but again, size, they make weight divisions for a reason, bro. There's no way Gary Russell can outbox him and stay away for 12 rounds, man. It's just impossible, bro. Like, them dudes are too small for him. Now, what I would, but on the flip side, if they can get him in the ring, get him in the ring. It's an easy fight. It's an easy check for Bud. Let him get that easy bread and a tune-up fight for his next fight. That's my call.
Damn. So Gary right now falls into a tune-up. You see, and that's the perspective for some people, bro. Some people are not seeing it as a competitive fight. And I get what Ness was trying to say before he walked away. You know what I'm saying? He had to go blow off some steam. Ain't nobody trying to swallow this pill, champ. They know that it's a huge disparity, man, in the weight and the size. You know, and like I said, you could get him in there, make some money, and you know, treat it like a in-between match. I mean, it's really not going to look good for Bud. You know, if Bud goes in there, bro, and he does his thing and knocks him out or makes Gary look bad in any way, they're not going to give him credit. And that's the thing that we always kind of fall short on Crawford, is giving him his full credit for each fight that he has. There's always something in there, you know, oh, this guy wasn't good enough, or he's not at that level, or there's always something. So it's like seeing Bud go up against Gary at this point, it's got to be the story that pulls me in more than anything, really, as a hardcore. But yeah.
Let me get to...
All right, go ahead.
Majid, Orlando.
What up? Everybody need to like, subscribe, and join Patreon. And oh man, I feel like Gary Russell that dude, it's like he got a Napoleon complex. He calling out anybody that call him out, no matter what size it is. I'm pretty sure if Anthony Joshua talk trash and make a contract, you know. But I mean, if this dude been calling out people for years, and if this all he could get and he willing to get them hands on that head, then just go for it, you know. But Ness, I ain't talking about you, but you know, certain panelists, you know, they was okay with a Triple G versus Pac. I mean, versus Pac-Man. You know, Cal Brook jumping up, Amir Khan jumping up, and all that. Hey, you know, Mikey Garcia. They need to keep the same energy and stop being biased for certain fighters, man. But that's all I got, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I already know it wasn't me because I don't talk about Amir Khan.
I know it wasn't me because I thought Mikey Garcia had zero chance in that fight. I know it wasn't me.
He ain't saying Mikey. He ain't saying Mike. He's saying
he did say Mikey.
No, he's saying y'all ain't had the same energy with Pacquiao Gennady. Y'all like Pacquiao Gennady.
Here's the thing. Pacquiao's done it before. Pacquiao's done what basically we're asking him to do. He's moved up and completely shattered expectations.
Gary's going up 4 weight divisions.
Gary is coming up, and he's also been on record as to say that anything over a certain weight, which I think it was either featherweight or super featherweight, was never a realistic thing for him. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to change his opinion.
You are saying it because that's the second time you brought it up.
I'm just saying that adds to my, I guess, understanding or lack of belief in his belief. Like, is he saying that because he knows that that's a big fight that he can get, or is he saying it because he actually thinks he can win it and the size difference doesn't matter? I don't know. I don't know.
But I think it's different anyway. Pac-Man went up in his divisions. You know what I'm saying? He didn't skip 4 divisions in one shot.
Exactly.
You know, he got accustomed and yeah, you might think that. And look, I wasn't super for Pacquiao and Triple G from the beginning, and I could go back and listen to that stuff. I was always the one saying like, "Yo, bro, Pac-Man will get nailed to a cross if he gets hit by Triple G." But some people do believe it, and I think there is a possibility in Pacquiao and Triple G.
You know why, Doomy? You know why?
Why?
Because Pac's the A side, and he can dictate where that fight takes place in terms of weight. If he wants to drain Golovkin like he's done to countless fighters, he can attempt that because he is the A side. In this situation, it would be up to the A side, Terence Crawford, to dictate where this fight happens. And I can't believe that he would go out of his way to make Gary Russell feel as comfortable in the fight as he can heading into it. So that's what is a big difference in that, example is. Like, it's not the same at all.
Let me get to...
You disagree, Ness?
Listen,
I
had the Pac energy. I think Pac could do it. I think Gary should be entitled to want to do it. Doomy, give me that drum roll. We at 115,410, and we're talking subscribers. That means we got to our goal of 400, but now we want to keep that ball moving, and we need 500. 115,500. We're going 100 a day. Let's see where we're at. Doomy. That's what I'm talking about. 115,425. That means we just need 75 more to get us to that halfway mark, and then we're halfway to 116,000. Halfway to 116,000. We only need 75 more people to join the TBV army, but you can take it a step further and join the family over on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, where you can join us tonight for another episode of Untitled, which is the highest rated, most anticipated, most watched, most talked about, most downloaded, and most questions asked, comment related, all that goodness. Untitled, where there is no title, because we talk about everything that you asked us to talk about, boxing related or unboxing related, hence Untitled. So join us at 7 p.m. Eastern with our Patreon family. We're going to head on out to New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Whoa. Top of the morning, man.
Shit.
What up? What up? What up, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm out here moving. You dig? Getting shit popping, getting after this money. You know what I'm saying? But see, bro, Gary Russell a real one, bro. And I think what the problem is, Ness, he just fed up with not getting a big fight after all these years, ever since the Lomachenko fight. Ever since the Loma fight, it's like everybody just been ducking him, bro. So he don't care no more. Whoever got a problem, whoever said anything kind of funny, ever said anything wrong, he want all the smoke now. He feel like Mitch. He feel like Mitch had this little brother got kidnapped. That's how Gary feel right now, bro. And it's whatever right now. Whoever got a problem, let's solve it in the ring for a couple of $1 million. And that's what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And say, bro, you need to get Robert Garcia on the show too, because he went off about that decision with his fighter, man. You need to get him on the show, bro, and let him express how he feeling right now. You understand? And you got to get Rolly on the show too, bro. That dude got to talk to the public. He got to answer some questions. That's my call.
I doubt. Like I said, I doubt Rolly coming on here. I mean, Mario and Doomy could try that. I could try Robert. But today we got McCaskill. If you haven't already, dropped your question for Jessica McCaskill, the undisputed champ at 147 or 45, and the 135-pound champ. So yeah, man, she's doing her thing with all them belts. We going out to King Amin of Essex.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
TBV.
What's up, brother?
Yo, chilling, man. I'm really missed it because I'm moving around, but I think I heard you say we got the unified champ McCaskill. She coming on this morning?
2:00.
2:00. Yo, listen, I'm still very proud of that pick. That and the Bradley versus Pacquiao pick is what brought me to prominence on TBV. So I'm gonna really rest my laurels on that pick, and I'm gonna head over to Patreon and make sure I get to shout out the champ. I ain't gonna hold up the line. I'm listening as always. This is the morning coffee. It's gonna last me all day long until Untitled. TBV. That's the move. I'm out.
I mean, we got Sony Commish.
Hey, what's good, TBV? Good morning.
What up?
Cheers. Nothing much. Hey, yo, the Terence Crawford and Gary Russell, you know, I done said it before. You know, I done heard a lot of people bashing Terence Crawford, you know, the moves the fights that he made, you know, right around the time that he had jumped to welterweight. I do not understand why we are thinking this is a legitimate fight. I mean, no offense to Gary Russell, but that weight, even if he moved up to fight Terence Crawford, we're talking about everything that he's going to be losing. I think he's going to lose stamina, punching power, because he's trying to make that weight. And we're taking Gary Russell to fight a pound for pound, arguably top 2. I mean, cut it.
I mean, look, man, I hear you, man. I hear you. But at some point, you know, you got to shut these guys' mouths up. At some point, you got to, you know, like I said, you got to shut them up. You got to shut them up. But let me get to this, because I think this is falling, you know, like on deaf ears to everybody.
Tell me I can't move up and fight some Terence Crawford. Stop playing with me, Bernard. Stop playing with me, Slim. You know I'm a monster for real, and you know I mean everything I say. Man, don't call my phone, don't text my phone, and if you pull up to the gym, nigga, don't say shit to me. Yeah, and it's straight like that. Let the fans know what it really is. I will fuck Terence Crawford up. As a matter of fact, just to let you know how serious I am, already got off the phone with Al not a couple days ago, and we in negotiations right now. To the fans who don't know, we definitely reached out to Bud and them, and we just waiting on back for a response. So this shit going down on my end, baby. You know what I'm saying? All the suckers in the little. I can't believe. I always kind of knew you was in the bitch in the fake motherfuckers organization, man. Him, Terence Crawford, Mark Davis, everybody talking about Lomachenko. Lomachenko punk ass don't want to see me. And Dynamite, they got motherfucking, they appointing people. You know what I'm saying? They want motherfuckers to be as fake as the next person. That shit crazy. I don't got no respect for you, Slam. Don't say nothing to me.
So again, he's the one saying that Al called Bob and they in negotiations and they waiting on a response. We just, look, this is a possibility. Sounds like it, at least on Gary's end. At least he's attempting. He ain't waiting on an offer. He's not doing what Thurman's saying, talking about send a contract. He's actually calling Bob and them. And he says Al did contact Bob. He says he got off the phone a few days ago telling Al to do it, and Al was already in negotiations and just waiting on a response back. So we'll see, man. We're going to go out to Steve in Chicago.
My town up in K-Town.
Hey, Daddy, this is Dollar Beat.
I drink soda, I eat pizza, I hang out with chicks all day. These fighters still can't beat me. They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. Just give me 6 weeks, and I got it.
BoxingWiz.com.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We do. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like Gary, but I'm not feeding into this narrative. Talk is cheap. Look, man, you just had Bomac on here, and what did he tell you about Keith? You bring this question up to him, and he might come over to you and beat your ass. For real. What did he tell you? He was laughing at Keith, and what do you think they're going to laugh at Gary? I mean, come on, man. This is whacked. He could talk all he wants. But, I like the guy, but, man, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I'm out.
He says stay in your lane,
Stonebone Boxing, Colorado.
What up?
Chip.
Yeah, my bad. I was washing my dishes, man. My hands was wet. I'm laughing at you guys a little bit. Hey, look, man. It's not that I don't like Gary Russell. I respect Gary Russell, but let's be real about this. Right after Bud knocked Terence Crawford out, after Bud knocked out Gary Russell, the first thing Ness gonna say is, "Look, Terence Crawford bringing up another dude, little dude from weight class. He gonna go Cardi B on us with it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Bud do. That's he bring up the little dudes. That's what you gonna do, Ness. Now you running around today talking about this is a good fight when you trashing a bigger guy to fight him in Kell Brook. Come on, man. Let's be real. The same thing that I said when Mikey saw something. What Mikey saw was a check. What Gary Russell sees is a check. And what Gary Russell needs to do is he couldn't even get Al Haymon to call Leo Santa Cruz or Mayweather for a tank fight. You think Al ain't called Bob for Bud and Earl yet. You think he picked up the phone and said, "Oh yeah, let me call Bob real quick." He called Bob and said, "Hey, will you let Lomachenko beat up on Gary Russell again so he can calm down?" That's what he called for. We need to be realistic about this. And I already told you who Bud about to fight. It ain't finna be no little bitty Gary Russell. No disrespect to little bitty Gary Russell. But tell him to go fight some of them little bitty dudes. He got little bitty dudes masquerading and disrespect.
I hear you, Champ. I hear you. Problem with that
said
is
little bitty.
we ain't getting no reports on that, and we getting the exact opposite. Actually, the report to yesterday night is Bob Arum told Lance Pugmire that Terence Crawford will either fight Manny Pacquiao or Kell Brook in November. Now, Pugmire says this: no mention of Patrick Teixeira. So that means, as many long suspected, the opponent is Baruch. This is LA Times, Athletics, Lance Pugmire, usually right.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up earlier.
Usually right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Gary got Al calling Bob, but Bob saying, nah, we good. We going to fight Brooke. That's who we want to fight. We want to fight Brooke. We like Brooke.
Call you Brooke.
Call him Brookie. Yo, Sony, you got the boomerang now. You got the juice now. I actually got that soundbite, Sony. Where is that? Come on, where is that, Ness? Find it. Where is that?
Well, while you find that, Jarrett Lloyd says the Fat Mac and Bumlord aren't quick to shut Thurman up, but quick to shut Russell up. He the GOAT, though, according to these tenders.
I mean, Russell ain't take the fight. So, I mean, Crawford hasn't taken the fight, so we can't say he's quick to shut up Russell. You know what I mean? But, look, man, we just want a good fight from Crawford.
In Jesus' name.
Something worth, you know. But, yo, Sony, you avail for your boomy? You got the juice now, champ.
Yes, I am. And shout out to Stainless and Trey in the Bay for the boomerangs. Hey, yo, about Adam Kownacki, you know, that was a great interview that you had with him. I couldn't hear it all, but from what I heard, you know, I can't wait to see that guy get back into the ring. My question is, what do you guys think as far as like with his preparations and whatnot and what have you? Because I'm thinking this next fight back, he should be hoping that Andy Ruiz beats Chris Arreola, because I think that'll be a good fight. And I think he said that, if I'm not mistaken, in his interview.
Nah, he definitely said exactly that he is rooting for Arreola because he likes him, but he does want Andy to win because that's a fight that's there for him. And in terms of preparation, I think we got it wrong. Like, I never asked him preparation questions. I asked him strength and conditioning because he's in New York, and I wonder why he didn't train with that specific trainer, Scooter, but he did. What's up? Did I lose y'all?
Nah, you there?
So I guess it got so quiet. That shit made me lose my train of thought. So I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he has an issue with training. I've watched him train. I've been to his camps. I watched him spar the Chinese heavyweight. I watched him spar Big Baby. I watched him spar Polite Coffee. Like, I got to watch him spar. So he don't got a problem throwing his hands. Let's just be real. Like, he
throws punches. For the way he looks, he surprises the hell out of you.
Yeah, he throws a lot of shots. So it's like, he ain't got a stamina issue. He probably need to work more on the technical aspect of his game.
I think what I was gonna say, Coach Shannon, and what Shannon was saying, bro, was some real stuff, man. There was some real stuff, and he don't gotta have all those abs or nothing like that, but strong core for a guy like him that likes to walk forward. It'll just give him that timing, you know, for him to be able to slip punches a lot quicker and not get hit as much. And as many punches as he throws, get your core that strong, bro. You're gonna throw way more. But not everybody's body beautiful.
Yeah, man. Not everybody's gonna be able to have the, you know, Anthony Joshua like 6-pack.
Bro, I never saw abs. I probably not lie. I saw abs in 10th grade, 10th grade, and I never saw him again, champ. Never saw him again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And Antonio De Jesus on the super chat says nothing but a emoji thumbs up. Appreciate the support, Antonio. Cheers.
Real quick, want to give a quick shout out to Ken Stone in the chat who signed up to the Patreon page. So we appreciate that. I'm screen sharing. I'm screen sharing Patreon right now just to show everybody, you know, what that level gets. So on the $3 level, which is you enjoy our podcast and you bought us a cup of coffee. I mean, we'll just split that between the three of us. It's all good because yeah, you know, a few sips for you know, we'll make it shots. Split it black. Split it black. Everybody take a black shot of that $3 coffee. And what you get, Ken, is you get access to our Fantasy Pick'em League, which is real hot right now. Shout out to Info Joe. You know, do you got a horn? Hit the horn, because right now I can't go to my sound bites. It'll screen share. Nothing, no celebration bite there, huh? Oh, you got you got that. All you got is it's a good vibration. No, that's too much. But yeah, shout out to Info Joe. He created that show, and it's not show, but that Fantasy Pick'em League. He pushed for it. Shout out to Mitty, who's taking charge with the spreadsheets and following all the data and all that. And shout out to all the patrons that have signed up. There's 75 of us in the amateur league. And how many of you guys is it in the pro league?
There was $30 up, so 30 divided by 5 was obviously 6.
Nah, there's more than that.
No, I know there was more than that. I'm just saying the last time I got a count, it was at 30.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how many you said that's 6? Nah, hell no. There was over 10 the last time I gave a count. But
Gotcha.
whatever, there should be over 10 in the pro league and over 75 in the amateur league. Speaking of the 75 of us that are in the amateur league, which only means we choose not to participate in the paid pro league, which could get you a prize if you win, valued at the equal amount of the pot to the T. That being said, in the amateur league, there's 75 of us, and you know, out of that 75, Real Naija Chick is our number one picker. She's gotten that right. She's so far in the lead to win the award and bragging rights to be called the Grandmaster Picker. That being said, I am number two. But yeah, let's get to what looks like J-Mac in New Orleans. J-Mac, give me a flash if you avail. I just seen you jumped on. Okay.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all.
I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Terrence.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing. You want to bet on? You bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, champ.
Perfectly.
Yes,
hey, Ness, you gotta run it down to me right quick. I literally just jumped on. I don't even know what the show is about.
Gary Russell went on his Instagram and said that he contacted Al Haymon about 3 days ago, and Al Haymon contacted Bob Arum, and they are in negotiations to fight Terence Crawford. And he said this is what the fans don't know, and he said that he's just waiting on the response.
Okay, well, if Gary won't bite off more than he could chew, let it happen. And stuff like that. I don't know if Bug gonna get the respect from it because after all, he hasn't fought nobody at 147, leaving it up to certain people. And I damn sure know he ain't gonna get the same respect Arrow got. Mikey calling him out, and Arrow fought him. But I think actually Gary's biting off more than he gonna chew. Bug will knock Gary the fuck out. And but my question would be is will he get the respect or will he continue going down that downslide saying he ain't fight nobody? Will he get that respect from your point? Knowing everything that happened, how to fight, I want to ask y'all, would y'all respect him after this fight?
I mean, honestly, it depends how it went down, man. If he does better than he did in the Gamboa fight, because, you know, people like to use the Gamboa fight against him, so he got to do better in that fight, which I think he could, you know. But even in the David Benavidez fight, he got hit. But, like, he still always looks dominant. So if you just look dominant, it's really hard to get, you know,
excited.
Not excited. It's really hard to take credit away. Because look at Earl, right? Super duper Earl fans are like, oh yeah, you know, look, he fought him in his own game. He outboxed him, and it's like, hold up, champ. We was expecting you to knock him out. Like, he's a little dude. Talking about he sees something. You should have knocked his eyes somewhere. And that's what I want to see from Crawford. If he fights this dude, I'm not trying to see 12 rounds. If you win 12 rounds, then nah.
Yeah, that's not good.
I ain't giving you credit. But if you knock this dude senseless and you did what Earl didn't do to a little dude, that storyline is all I'm saying. We keep trying to give Crawford a reason to get in that conversation with Manny Pacquiao, Earl Spence, and Danny Garcia. He ain't in that convo.
Real quick, Donald Banks on the super chat says Crawford never gets credit for nobody he fights because he doesn't give interviews. Boxing shows hosts treat him like the chick that won't give no play. Laughing emoji.
I mean,
it's gotten a little better.
Yeah, and there's an argument for that. But I will say that I believe this year Crawford has done more interviews than he's ever done.
I agree.
This year, during the pandemic and everything, he's done pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, during pandemic. He's done more interviews than I feel like. I could be wrong. I ain't end all see all. But I feel like he's done more than ever. Like, bro, he got on Coogan. He was on a lot, man.
Brian Custer.
He got on Custer. I think he was on Boxing Social. I mean, he got on a lot. He did his run.
Real quick from our new Patreon, that's Ken says, just Ken, not Stone. Laughing emoji.
Oh,
and
that's
the real
right.
Ken Stone, please stand up. He says, hey, I am a Patreon member too. LOL.
So the real Ken Stone's a Patreon?
There's a Ken Stone Patreon, and then there's another one, Ken.
Yeah, no. What flag is that, Ken? Is that Haiti?
I think it's Haiti, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Haiti, yo. So I never even finished saying it. So, yeah, you get access to the Pick'em League, plus you get access to all so you get access to Ask the Question, Patreon-only perks, where you, the Patreon, can ask whatever guest we interview a question. At this level, though, you will be able to ask fighters, trainers, boxing insiders a question, but not every champion at this level. You'll be able to participate in our polls and posts, so you'll be part of all Boxing Bars decisions. You'll be part of all show decisions. Every poll and every question that we make to our community is definitely at the $3 level. And, we give you the access to the most things that we can at that level, and we appreciate your support. Looks like all we got left is JT in New Orleans.
Stupendous.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Dennis, I see you, champ. We'll go to you next. I messed up. JT, what up?
Ness, don't come over my call. When I'm start talking, I need y'all to be quiet. I'm just playing though. What's up? Good morning.
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 Listen, this my thing. If you a little nigga keep calling out for somebody a little bigger than you, you want your ass whooped, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Cause really, I'm giving you the respect as a fighter. You're not even supposed to be playing with me and stuff like that, but you're still playing with my name. So yeah, I don't care what nobody say. If Bud fight Gary Russell got skills, and I think he go fight him off till he can't fight him off no more. And then Bud just go clip him. I think this is the first time we'll see Gary Russell get knocked out and get stopped. Yes, he got good skills, he got fast hands, but like I said, all that skill that's not gonna play out when it's getting later in the rounds and stuff like that, and Bud start putting them hands on him and stuff like that. So he gonna look good for a few rounds until Bud clip him. But that's all I got on it. Cause I don't know what Gary Russell's sniffing.
Cut it.
You weak, pathetic fool.
Who's weak and why they're a pathetic fool?
Nah, my man was expressing how small Gary is compared to T-Bud. He's going to keep him up until he can't no more.
So the leader in the Pro League leaderboard is Majimbe from La República Dominicana.
Shout out to Carlitos for asking that. Who went in the Pro League so far?
Nice.
Also in first place, because this is alphabetical order, so Majimbe goes first by default. Brandon, Casual Bass Guy, Kristen Camillo. Let me just give a shout out to Kristen. Been such a long time supporter. Even went to that Las Vegas appreciation night. Dennis in Tampa, also number one. Damn, in the Pro League too, Dennis. Coño carajo. Let's go. Let's get out to Dennis in Tampa on the line. Let me look for this intro, Dennis, because you barely call in. Where are you? Toma, but that's not it. He's got his own. Where is it?
Well, while you do that, Mr. J. Duke 40 says any fight less than Brooke Bud should be dropped out of the top 5. I can't defend my favorite fighter anymore. Gary Russell ain't been a monster in 10 years.
Wow, 10? He didn't just handle cleanly and clearly Joseph Diaz, who handled cleanly and clearly reigning champion Tevin Farmer. Fickle boxing fans, I tell you. Fickle, go get yourself a frickin' pickle. Where is Dennis's intro? Dennis, am I wrong and you don't have one? I know you got one because I remember it's like, and then it's like,
what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man?
Yeah, no, it's like a mix of salsa and something. There it goes. Let's go, Dennis. Campeón.
The fire's come. Are you ready for the fire? We're firemen. We are firemen. Y vuelvo a nacer. Okay.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, that's the best bilingual intro on TPV. I mixed it up thanks to Dollar. Yo, is anyone realizing that the dude's gonna jump up 3 weight classes? Right? I don't remember him fighting at 130. So that's 126, 130. 130, 135, 140 to fight at 147. He's going to be what, 143 when he fights? So we will always fight about here. Oh, we want fresh eyes on boxing. We want to attract the casual. This is what we want to attract? Think about the Rolly decision bullshit that we just went through. As much as I agree with Ness, yeah, let him shut his mouth up. Bro, it ain't good for us as a whole, right? It ain't good for us as a whole. And I like to think of boxing as a fan, and I try to get my casual veteran friends to come back to boxing. Can you imagine me coming to work and they're like, yo, what happened with that little dude? All this shit you've been trying to get me on TPV, and you got this fucking... Look at the first round when Loma fought Rigo and they looked at each other. It was a fucking joke. It was a joke, and I'm tired of being. We had a caller just recently saying, "I'm sick of boxing. I'm gonna go."
Cut it.
Yeah, I think that was my Yimbe. Right?
Real quick, Pacquiao fought Cotto at 44. He fought De La Hoya at 42. He fought Antonio Margarito at 44.
All catch weights.
No, Margarito was a catch weight of 51. But Pacquiao didn't come in at 51.
He was always smaller.
Exactly. The weigh-in for De La Hoya was a 47-pound fight or a catch weight of 45, and he didn't come in at 45. What I'm saying is, as a smaller man, if you great, you can come in at a smaller weight and still win, like 143 versus Algieri. You know what I mean?
Speed. I think speed was a big factor in all of that.
Gary claims to have the fastest hands in boxing, but we got a few super chats. Oh,
and it makes sense because, I mean, look, right now it just kind of bing. Look, Pacquiao's fast, Gary's fast. Can that speed
The thing
disparity
is, Pacquiao had that power that people like to believe
disparity.
in. You know what I mean? Pacquiao had that power people like to believe in. So they I'm like, oh, you're making a whack comparison because Pacquiao was knocking dudes out.
But he wasn't knocking guys out towards the end, really, right? Like, when was the last time he had a KO? Let me check.
No.
Pacquiao says that he wants to be president afterwards too.
But we got Carlito who says we said that. Mr. Duke who says any fight less than Brooke Bud should you said that. So then we got Candy Slim 501.
Yes, we do. Crawford versus Brooke and Russell in the same night is a celebration. The same day Jarrett Lloyd's Bruce Jenner's transformation is complete.
All right. And I think that is everyone except...
He ain't knock out Lucas Matisse. It was a TKO, right? He ain't KO him.
We actually got a bunch of people jumped on. We got Rough House Boxing TV. What up?
Blog Talk still down? Yep.
Yep. Rough House. Just listening? Going once. Twice.
Hadouken!
Rue, winner 504 New Orleans. What up?
Gentlemen, good morning. What's happening?
Buenos dias.
Hello.
So, do you think making someone quit on their stool is a dominant performance?
Hell yeah.
I mean, it depends on how they quit
Unless he
on
got
their
injured,
stool.
right?
No, it depends on how they quit on the stool. You can't just, you know what I mean? It can't just say, yeah, that's
He's got to be
broad.
groveling.
The question, the reason why I'm going down this line of thinking, and I could be wrong, was it Rigo or Loma calling for that fight on Twitter for months?
I think it was Rigo calling for it.
So he called out a bigger guy. He went up and got embarrassed. And Stonebone kind of laid the ground for this question. Would you give credit to Terence Crawford if he beats Gary Russell? Because you're not giving credit for Loma for beating Rigo, even though you were saying Rigo.
Who doesn't give him credit? I definitely give him credit. I pick
Rigo.
Rigo.
Just beat up the smaller guy. It's like you're definitely taking a win out of that win.
No. I have to. Well, that's your time. I have to tell people the truth. I can't just say, yeah, he beat. Who are we talking about? That moved up. Oh yeah, I can't just be like, not give context. Be like, yeah, Lomachenko beat Rigondeaux. No, you gotta say the same way you say, yeah, Earl beat Mikey when he moved up. You know what I mean? General moved up. Like, I don't know what you mean, but yeah, you give him credit for winning. I'm giving Tyson Fury credit, right? You know what I mean? If I'm giving David Morrell credit. If you beat a dude that I rank, you are ranked. Like, that's how it should work on everybody's rankings except Sony's and then the commission. They still ain't put out official rankings. Meanwhile, the fights happen Saturday. You know what I mean? That's the corruption that we speak of. Shots fired. J-Matt, Boomerang.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
I know Cap the Save Ass will come on here and use that narrative with some Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. It's just it's like a spoken that must be said. You talk about the fight, but if you're a boxing fan, you know the difference. And the same thing will be said about Gary Russell with Bud. But Gary Russell energy might just get him what he want. And if he's talking that top dollar stuff, calling bigger fighters that outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds, Slim, on this show like he do on a consistent basis. Let's see what Slim do when he get in the ring with a Terence Bud Crawford, the one jaw that he broke in the Olympics. So if he didn't talk his ass into that fight and that ass whooping, I'm gonna sit up there and watch it, and I'm gonna give him the credit for it. And I'll say he moved up, but he bit off more than he could chew. Tell Rue need to go sit down somewhere, man, with that logic, man. Get off Lomo. That's it.
Yeah, he's definitely a Loma fan. That's the only, that's the only reason he called in, to make sure I give Loma credit. Yeah.
Boxing expert says, but on that Charlito route. LOL.
I mean, Charlo's about to fight biggest fight of his career, so both of them really, but one more significant than the other. So I don't know. You got to be a little more specific than that. But I don't know if there's time for that, because it looks like we got the everybody now for real. Double checking the list, checking it twice, looking like I got everybody. I got the everybody, right? Did we get the Sony on the Boomerang yet?
We did get to Sony twice, yep.
All right, well, then we're done. And that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us at 2 o'clock.
At Mario Mugi on Twitter, at Mario Mugi on Instagram. Peace.
Champ. Alex _Doomsday _LAINEZ on IG. Twitter, Alex_TBV. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget, we'll be coming back very soon with Mrs. Jessica McCaskill. The new.
Oh, I thought he was going to finish it like the new, undisputed.
I thought you were. I seen you like.
Nah, I was coughing over it. All right, peace, y'all.